Good morning. Markets are slightly higher this morning as on the last trading day before the holidays. So we're looking forward to a continuation of some gains. All the major averages continued this week's rally with the NASDAQ yesterday leading the way up 1.2%. S&P and the Dow 1% and 0.7% respectively. All three looking to end the week higher, on track to do so. Of course, in the S&P, very close, if not just about a percentage point off of its all-time high. Strong week. Overall, the markets have reacted positively, particularly some of the travel names here, helped by Pfizer's news of getting the FDA emergency use approval for their COVID treatment. In addition to that, we've had positive news from NVAX, which we'll get to. We're going to look at some of the vaccine makers because Moderna has been pretty weak every single day in response to some of the positive news from NVAX and from Pfizer. And of course, there's never a day without talking about a Chinese technology company. Shares of JD.com are under pressure. Tencent reducing their stake potentially from 17% to 2%, giving away their shares to their shareholders. It's a Christmas sweater morning. It's Trader TV Live is about to start December 23rd, and I can't keep my eyes off Arun's hat. Major averages right now, slightly to the upside, 0.25% on the Dow, S&P, NASDAQ 0.17 here. You're going to see Brazil basically flat. Crypto, Ethereum's under a little bit of pressure. It's been hovering right around that 4,000 mark back and forth, but little headway early on in the session. Of course, what we have seen recently has been muted starts to the morning, rallies in the afternoon. So a lot of the strength has come into the markets in the afternoon. So an early start, it is in positive territory here. We're certainly looking forward to it. Who knows? Maybe we'll get Pfizer good news again. Like 2 days in a row, we've had a good print from Pfizer, guys. And I mentioned Arun's hat. I didn't see the hat. He put the hat on right as I was doing the intro there for you guys. But we got Christmas sweater day. I know what Sean's got on because that's a Grinch, baby.
Yeah.
I got this weird I don't know, like Tyrannosaurus Rex thing. And Arun, you made it happen, buddy.
Right there, so you guys can see it.
Ho, ho, ho.
I've got the Santa.
Where did you go?
I have no clue where I went, but I picked this up. Wherever I went, I picked this up and put it together on short notice. So here I am on a shortened day. Well, not a shortened day, but it is a low volume day. Drive-in was nice, so we are super early to look at absolutely nothing because not a whole lot moving, but I'm sure Neil has found some special movers that are actually just, hidden out of sight, and we've got that watch list there, so it's got some stocks that we're going to take a look at. I've also got my eye on two names. I've got my eye on Qualcomm and what's the other one? AMAT. So those two are the ones that I'm looking at for at least for now.
Yeah, welcome guys. Yeah, we got the money green on here today. Hopefully we can make a little bit, but it should be a pretty light day trade today. But, we're excited to be here. It's Thursday, no market tomorrow. So we'll see where this wants to go here. Tesla all the way back above 1,000 now, back to 1020 here. Win also moving. We have KTTA, a big one here, 5 million shares looking to take out $2 now. So, it's just these high flyers. ENSC, another one that's on the watch list, also on the sticky note today, looking to take out new highs as well on this one as it breaks through $6. So, hey, super excited today. We've got the water, and we're already at 9 a.m. here, so that's pretty good. We've got the red coffee cup as well here for Christmas, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. We're here full day today, so our show, this show, Market Movers at 11, and then we're back at 2 p.m., so should be absolutely fantastic. I think Justin's going to be swinging by today as well, and from what I know, we have Luis from the Barcelona office coming through. That's always fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a jam-packed full day for all of you. Last trading day, like you said, Sean, of the week, as tomorrow is a holiday. And, you got to see all of our Christmas gear. Let's get to Miss V, who's looking very much like Frozen. My daughter would love that.
My B, Neil, and hey guys, it's the last trading day of this week and I wish you all the luck. Please enjoy the show, like this video, and let's get it started, Neil.
Yes, let's get it started indeed. You mentioned one off the bat there, Sean. You mentioned Tesla off the bat. Elon Musk actually he gave a bit of a correction to his statement where he said he was done selling shares and maybe he had been being too literal. So he might be done selling shares is what it was the slight correction that he made yesterday. Look, Tesla, it's back, like you said, it's back above 1,000, up only 0.7%. But I feel like that's probably Elon realizing he's been slapped a couple of times by the regulators and having to be a little bit more precise in his comments. Certainly, I don't know if that's going to move things. He's close to done selling shares anyways, and that's given Tesla a little bit of a bump here. So, yeah, slight correction from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Elon Musk. And again, Tesla going to be in play today.
What's the guy's name? Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc., apparently. I look like some guy named Mike from Monsters, Inc. Yeah, exactly, Maggie.
No. That's a
one eye.
Mike Wazowski has a darker green than.
Anyways, yeah, no, Tesla. Look, I was talking about when I sold this thing right here at 1020, 1022. It's right back to those levels. Elon Musk is just going to continuously be a genius in all of this, man. I mean, the guy makes so much money. He can influence social media. He can now influence, regulators, everything like that. He can affect the stock in the billions of dollars when he comes in and sells, and then he changes, his tone back and forth. But ultimately, the most, darn it, we still have these bad wicks, eh? Okay, so, the EV space is what it is right now. It's very, very hot. It's cooled off a little bit for names like Lucid. All of them. Workhorse, Nikola's moving a little bit today. But the one name that is always going to be on people's minds seems like it's going to be Tesla. So, with that being said, they have such a huge, I don't want to talk about the company. Everybody knows everything that they're doing. So, let's just trade it. And I think that yesterday, this 1,000 level is obviously a very psychological spot. So I would just trade it off that. I think we traded off 1,000. We haven't even made any executions in this the last couple of days. You can see you did make a big run in the morning yesterday, faded out, touched VWAP here at 990, then took off. So, I think back into 1,000 makes a little bit of sense. And then if you are worried about getting out of your longs or holding them into the break here, it's only a 3-day holiday. We're back on Monday. So 990 maybe is an area to get out. But for me, Tesla, it just keeps on working. The market's only up 0.18 here today. So, Tesla's much ahead of that. We'll see what it wants to do. But 1025, I'll just play around these key levels, basically 10 quarters and 1,000 for me on Tesla. But hey, it keeps on ticking. One day you're here, it's down 3 or 4%. The next day it's up, whatever. It has nothing to even do with the business. Although yesterday they did get some more aggressive approvals for their plant in Berlin. So I think that obviously helped some of the rallies there yesterday.
I find it very interesting that we talked about exactly this, that wording matters. And the majority of people that are buying up Tesla, it's like, oh, Elon's done. Wording matters. And it was like might or may is a key word in that sentence that's released. So just be aware. I personally don't trade Tesla because of the price point, but just be aware that based on what the words are, you might see a move in Tesla maybe back to the downside. I don't know. But I'm just not even going to bother looking at this because I don't trade it. Anyways, Neil?
We're not moving the futures right now, obviously, but the jobless claims did come in absolutely as expected here, and CP Core Index came 0.5 rate on the month, 4.7 year over year. So, not necessarily big time market movers. We had some data yesterday. Overall, I think the market's moving based on the reaction to COVID, as it sees here. But before we get to, we're going to have Lewis in just a quick second there. I know I just said, Arun, not to put you on the spot, the future's not really moving. We just got our last data before the long weekend. We're not really moving the markets here. Any reaction from you to the jobless claims number there?
In terms of futures movement, we're in it. We cleared some zones. Where's the daily on this so I can actually bring the futures? Let me bring this over. This is what the futures daily looks like. We are getting to the top end of some resistance here. North of 4,700, you do have some, there's a lot of space that it needs to be covered for us to actually get going. There's a lot of resistance up here north of 4,700, then 4,720 into the 4,750s. Finally, we put in some new highs. So just be aware that today is one of those days where we are low in volume. So if we get into those zones, can we get enough traction to actually go through the highs? I would argue not, but again, we've seen some crazy movement in the last couple of days, so you might get a surprise rally here as well today and taking out 4,700. But I think next week is going to be critical as we finish out the year. Depending on how this closes today, you might see a nice little extension if we're above 47.50 next week, or a complete reversal if we actually end up trapping out high and coming right back in. So we are at an interesting spot here going into a holiday weekend. So just be aware that we are looking at some resistance up top. In terms of support down below, I would look at, what am I looking at? I'm personally looking at 46.60 from yesterday. So anything south of 46.80 would open the door for some potential long. So depending on how it comes down, you got to finesse this trade a little bit, but 46.60 to the downside, and then you have 47.50.
Futures, big move.
Top.
I was just looking right now, the futures, I know we're going to go to Lewis in a second, but just as a quick update, Tesla just dropped like $5 almost straight down here to 1010. The NASDAQ just cracked a little bit there. I mean, it's you know, I still look at it, and I know you just did the futures on the ES, but I still look at 16,000. We're still positive here today. You may get a profit-taking moment. We're up about 3% or so this week alone. So, you know, let's wait to see what happens. But yeah, Tesla just dropping $5 here on a little bit of a NASD move.
And as promised, Luis Barbato, first off, happy holidays. It's good to see you once again. Obviously, this will be our last time talking to you this year. So just curious to get your thoughts on what you're looking at this morning. On the top of my mind is the fact that a holiday shortened week, we've got lower volumes, right? So, you know, what's our response to that? There's been a lot of these low float runners that maybe are moving more because of the low volume.
Hello, happy Christmas, Neil. I'm glad to talk to you now. Last time, so was always Brendan. Happy Christmas. Actually, we're expecting very low and not a lot of volume market these days. Also, for day traders, don't forget we have like 250 trading days in 2022. So last days, just don't mess it up. Have nice days with the family. Don't let bad trading or bad results affect these important days in Christmas. So take it easy these days. Don't play too big, because you know there's important days and you have a personal life outside trading, so use it these days to enjoy. We have a lot of small price action, KTTA, CACSIN and ANC, but it doesn't look we're going to run a lot today. There's no volume. Mainly we're looking the plays of yesterday and 2 days ago.
Yeah, look, actually, firstly, that's fantastic advice, by the way, saying, you know, traders, make sure you're in the right frame of mind. Don't have to overtrade. The last thing you want to do is end the year on a poor note or a sour note, and then that affects your trading for next year. So that's obviously fantastic advice. One of those, you mentioned ENSC, I think is one of the names. And look, that halted, I want to count them up, like 5 times yesterday, maybe 6 potential times there in yesterday's action. I mean, right now it's done about 4.5 million shares worth of volume. I know sometimes we've seen a little bit more than that in the pre-market here. But what's your approach? Because if we do get a run on this name, I'm kind of expecting that you could see multiple halts again. Do you change your approach on low volume around these high probability halt trades? Do you stay away from them if they start going parabolic? Do you look to get in front of a halt? Because I'm thinking if this breaks the top, all chances that we could see a halt at the open.
Yeah, it's a halt fest, as you say, so we try to be a little bit aware of it. If it goes over 630, 640s, we're going to go into halt fest again today. So let's say first halt, second halt, we are very aware. After if we have a third halt up, then we start to play. It's a little bit of a bet, of a gamble, if you can call it that. But after 2 or 3 halts, you are a little bit more safe of having a halt down or a long wash out to break new highs. But for the first 15 minutes, 30 minutes, let's see if it breaks halt of the day. 60 was important levels. We're trading about $6 and above VWAP. So there is a chance we break highs on this ticker.
Yeah, that's essentially what I'm looking at as well on ENSC. Now, obviously, there's other names that are going to be trading here. Travel names have been leading the market. Are there any larger cap names that maybe you think could have enough volume or to give you maybe some scalp trades in and out, or provide you with good direction. I mean, I was going to say, the potentiality of CCL, which usually is a good one, but that's got low pre-market volume. Are there any larger cap names that might have your attention here, where you're expecting your traders could be looking for volume?
Well, usually we trade the small cap, but today within the large cap, we are checking Tesla, of course. Now it's $10 down from 1,020. So we wanna look if it tests $1,000. Another ticker I'm gonna look at it is Micron. It is not our style of trading, but 91.40 is important level to break and set up new highs. It's pretty near to all-time highs in $95. So it's another ticker we're gonna look. Those are the two main tickers. Carnival, as you say, is not the kind of stock we like. It's a little bit linear movement. We need more noise to forecast what's going on and to manage risk better. So Carnival, even though price action and price of the stock is okay and volume, but the movement is too linear for us, too trending without pullbacks and dips,
Absolutely. And look, I mean, we're watching Tesla as well here, and Micron's strong earnings this week had that strong start to the week. Before I get you out of here, I got to ask you, any special plans here for the holidays there, Luis?
No, not really. Just being with the family, enjoy Christmas dinner here in Spain. We're a little bit, again, in a bad situation with COVID, so just take easy for these days with the family.
Well, being with family is all you really need, I happen to think. And you're part of our family here at Day Trade the World. So thank you, as usual, Luis, for coming in. Good luck trading today and, of course, the rest of the year. All the best for the holidays and in the new year. And 2022, let's make it a fantastic trading year for everybody. Thanks again, Luis.
Thank you, Neil.
Yeah, and as we're mentioning right there, I mean, I didn't actually see anything specifically in the futures what would have caused that move down. I know, Sean, you brought to the attention Tesla, and Luis mentioning it there as well, turning red. Looks like maybe a bit of a delayed reaction to some of the data that we had come through this morning, but not really extending too far. It looks like we've just, it dropped about $10 and has slowed down a little bit here, but I'm not really seeing anything add to those wires. But any comment on, I guess, like the muted pullback here? I think it was 2 days ago, we saw right at the open, you had those big dips. I mean, I'm thinking of NVIDIA specifically. But are we thinking the same kind of thing? You might get that sell at the open and in the later rally. Is this a buy the dip kind of morning?
I don't know. I mean, coming into light volume, I mean, Tesla doesn't really matter to me. I mean, whatever. It's just moving around. It's not really doing anything down to 10.50, 10.11. I mean, we dropped from 10.20. It's not a big deal. I look at the market, and we could talk about the triple Qs, or I just call up the triple Qs. I trade those a little bit more, but same thing as the NASDAQ 100 here, futures contract. And I mean, it's been a pretty decent week here, right? And so, you go up from 380, and I said we were up. I think I said about 3%, but I think maybe we're up about 2% or so in the last 2 days. Big moves down, right back here. We're sort of still at very, very consistent levels. I mean, Arun talked about the ES being near the highs, and just that there's a lot of room up top, and I think that that's similar for the triple Qs. But we're above the 50-period moving average. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some nervous hands today that sold down some of their positions. I mean, big stocks like Microsoft had battled back. Microsoft touched, I think it was like 320, something like that, not too long ago. Yeah, there it is right there, 320. So, what a good rally back in Microsoft, up $15. So anybody nervous today, I think, would probably take something off because, again, it's only a 3-day holiday. I mean, this is not... this is just kind of like a normal vacation period with super light volumes. So I don't expect there to be big volumes next week. But again, there wasn't huge volumes this week, and we had a great move up. So I don't know, maybe the lack of sellers in the market is drifting some of these guys up. But I think today there'll be some profit taking. It might happen early. Let's see what the NASDAQ wants to do here. But Apple's still holding out high, like 176, Look at these 3 days. We were at 168, up $10 almost from those levels. So I just think the buyers are here a little bit. The last couple of days, we talked about Santa Claus rally. That's not even supposed to happen until officially today because, Monday, it's supposed to be the last 5 days and the first few days in January. So we could get even a bigger rally into next week. But For right now, I think we just do what we talked about there with Lewis and what we've talked about on our watch list. And I mean, CCL is not on the watch list, but there's other travel names. And I think you got to just stick with what's been working. CCL, a great move from the bottom, $17 to $22. And although Lewis was saying that it's not for him, it is for me. We've been trading CCL for a bit. You know, find some key levels, be very, very patient today. And that's what I put down on the note, right? Is that wait for levels to come through. CCL on here is my number one, and it just is like get long near 21. You know, we had this 21 support. It's on my sticky note, so we're going to let this fade in, and we're not even going to start to buy 40s, 30s, anything like that. We'll start to buy it in the teens. If it comes back in, we'll buy it against certain levels. So I just think as long as you're specific like that, another call that I have on the, again, on our watch list, but a name that I've been loving has been Win. And I really like this one back to 87, yesterday's tops, right? So if it fades back in, that's another name that I like. So I think, Arun, today we have to be very, very specific with what we're trading. Obviously, we'll look at ENSC, KTTA. I already have that ready to rock and roll. I have a few other positions. SOPA, maybe another runner today that we can look at that's been hot lately. And we don't have, neither one of us have a position right now.
No.
It's just I'm waiting for key levels. If they come, great. If they don't, great. I mean, we're gonna sit here, we're gonna have some fun, and we don't have any rum and eggnog. That comes later.
Yep. Trade accordingly. Trade the market that you're dealing with right now. And today is one of those days where it is going to be a slower. Well, I would expect it to be a slower start. Of course, you'd love to be pleasantly surprised, but I am looking for it to be slower. So I'm gonna, you know, maybe a little bit as Sean said, be more selective with the names that you're going to trade. Kind of fine-tune things a little bit. They need to have the volume as well, not just set up, because I'm sure some stocks are setting up, but at the same time, if they don't have the volume, it's probably not worth it to go down that road. So here we are kind of just waiting. I'm looking at the chat to find some names.
I mean, I'm in now.
There you go. Sean just got KTTA north of 2. So one name that I do want to talk about, and I talk about this quite often. Are we ready for Neil, Rob?
Just keep going.
Yeah, okay. I wanted to talk about the Qs because a lot of times I come on and I talk about the futures in terms of the S&P 500 futures, and not everyone has access or trades the futures themselves. Obviously, corresponding ETF to the ES would be the spiders, but I also don't talk much about the NASDAQ futures and its ETF, which would be the Qs. So somebody was asking, what are the levels on the Qs and is there anything to trade with? Now, the big level that I'm noticing on the Qs is going to be the high or north of 400, where we're spending a lot of time, essentially between 398, 399, and 401. So I'm going to say north of 401, you probably get clearance to move. But up until we get to that point, once you enter about 397, I would be careful on what you're going to do for the next $4 up top. But we're sitting at 393. Are we actually at 3? No, we're sitting at 394. That's the daily chart. 394. 40 is where we're sitting. So we're sitting right about here. We still have another $3 or so we can go to the upside before we hit resistance. So there is space on the Qs in the tech market for it to keep going. Even another strong move today would help the situation. But just be aware that 401, I think, would be the key critical level that we would need to clear on the dailies to get some space to the upside. As I mentioned earlier, futures on the S&P future side of things, 4750 is the big level that we need to clear. Here's the other issue, though. We're doing this on a quieter market. This week has been relatively, or expected to be relatively quiet. Yes, the moves have been big. If we were to look at the volume, or is the volume going to be just as large as it was, say, 2 weeks ago, or even last week, or whatnot? If the answer to that is no, I haven't looked at it yet. If the answer is to that is no, and we are lower in volume, then this move may get sold off, and that's my concern is, if we were to take out the ES highs, 4750, let's just say we take out the highs, set off some stops, and the next week we get actual sell volume coming in, that ends up being a massive false breakout through the top, which opens the door for some selling. And that's my only concern with this kind of a move being, like for the last 2 days anyway, it's been so strong. We've gone about almost to 180 points or so from the bottom on the S&P futures, and we're doing it just before a holiday, which is, to me, that's somewhat of a caution situation. I want to see how we play out as we get near the end of the year. If this were to hold up and this move were to be strong as it is, I think we're going to get some volume coming in. We need that volume to support this move.
Just real quickly, happy birthday to D Queen. Nice super chat to start off the day. Thank you so much. Yeah, great to have a super chat here. as we go through the holidays. Thank you so much, D Queen, and happy birthday. We are into KTTA, already taking some profits, but here we go, man. 10 cents, already 5% in the money on this one. So let's sort over to Neil at the big board and see what else we could maybe trade on some upgrades and downgrades.
Yes, thank you, D Queen. Actually, you sent a super chat, I think it was yesterday, and it was a bit cryptic, and I couldn't quite understand it, but maybe you can resend that thought there. Happy birthday to you. There is not a heck of a lot in terms of upgrades and downgrades. I mean, you're going to have paychecks here from Barclays getting getting an upgrade, and CarMax as well from RBC. I guess I should say Royal Bank of Canada. To us, it's just RBC, but to you guys, Royal Bank of Canada. On the downgrade side, okay, Biogen catches a downgrade from Bank of America. Big one, Goldman Sachs. Alico's getting a downgrade. They're up 13% on the session as of last looking. But it's probably SoFi. Rosenblatt giving SoFi the downgrade. SoFi, obviously has been a name that, I don't know, a lot of fintech names have been beaten up. And a lot of times when you get down towards those lows, you tend to see some upgrades and some value come in. So interesting to see Rosenblatt put SoFi on the list. Not a heck of a lot in the way of movers pre-market, however, with the upgrades and downgrades today. You're going to have to pick and choose. Sean's in KTTA, and sometimes you just got to look at some of those small cap movers because that's the kind of market it happens to be a lot of times on a holiday.
I just saw Neil's full sweater because he stood up from behind the desk. That's a really nice sweater. I don't know why is that supposed to be like a boxing
It's Santasaurus.
T-Rex?
Yeah, Santasaurus.
Oh, okay. I like that. That's
the whole point is T-Rex has as I try to sit down on this chair is anyways, T-Rex has the short arms, right?
Yeah,
So
he's got mittens on. What's the deal?
No, he's got his Christmas sweater on. It's hard to see.
He's got his
Christmas sweater on, but the arms are too long, which are on mine. It's actually too long
that's
as
what I'm
well.
seeing. Okay, that's what I can't see from here. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yes, something to say.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Oh, here goes KTTA. It just dipped. I was like, oh my God, it's dipping a little bit here, but we are just waiting. It's going to break through 15 here. We did punch that ticket long here. We talked about this before we went to Luis there, and looking for names that are doing some volume. KTTA right now, I actually have an offer at 17 randomly here just to try to get out a little bit before 20, but 15 is a good spot to maybe get another piece out. But KTTA starting to make that move now to the high side. And again, news on this one, it's on our watch list. So, I mean, we can maybe talk about this, but low float company up 25%, increased volume, a ketamine therapy company. Here it comes. So we're already in here. We'll start raining it down. We've got the green on. We're the Grinch today, although we're not taking the wild beast here. We're just taking cash and we're getting ready. We're giving Christmas presents today. We are not taking them. So let's go here with KTTA on the Grinch. We're coming to Whoville and we're coming there real quick.
Before we go back to Neil, Carlos, I saw you the first time as well. You're asking about options. We're trading straight up contracts on the futures. We're no options here. Sean, we don't do options. Sean's doing shares. When I trade stocks, it's going to be shares, and when I do futures, it's straight up futures contracts. So no options on this show. Neil?
Yeah, and you know what? We're going to go over our watch list because I did it again, didn't I, Rob? Yeah, I know. I'm filling in for Brendan, and he warned me. It's like, okay, make sure when you bring up the watch list, you wait for it to get set up before I hit that key. But it's all good, guys. But we're going to go over our watch list. You have to trade what is moving, and that's the reality here today. So, as we go over our watch list, you can always scan the QR code if I get it up on the screen at some point here. But and now I'm going to mispronounce the name of the KTTA. It's because it's not Kex and Auto. It's Pacitia Therapeutics. Is the name of the company, and they're going to be towards the bottom of the watch list. A lot of times we'll go top to bottom, but here, Sean, that one is moving. So I did want to clear up a couple of things about them. It's just a low float name, 5.5 million float, and the only news that we could find, or that I could find as of our writing, was back on Tuesday when they opened a second ketamine therapy clinic in the UK. So once again, you have a low float runner with no particular news catalyst. So trade it with a little bit of caution. You've seen there's been a lot on Twitter and online pushing some of these stocks with low floats, and they've been running, and they've been trading opportunities here. But the news from this was a couple of days ago, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you can see where the volume, and this is why I call it a 20-minute chart here. You can see where the volume started to pick up a little bit on this name just a couple days ago. So yeah, and today obviously much more increased. It looks like retail's starting to get into this name. It's not even 9 o'clock yet. Wait till. I mean, it's going to be 9. It's 9 o'clock in 10 seconds. But you'll see it start to run up here when some more accounts come online and start to buy. So I mean, I like this name. I don't really know where we can go from here. Like you mentioned, the catalyst a couple days ago there, opening up new distribution, or not distribution, an office, like, new clinic, good word there, thank you, clinic there. So we'll see. I mean, 250, there is some resistance up here, 250, 260 maybe, that we could find out, but I mean, it's going to be a volume name here. It's already 9 million shares, 8.5 million shares, still going to the upside. So, hey, let's just hold out to this. We did already get out of 60%, 60%. So, up here. We talked about taking profits today. Make sure that we trade the right names. We saw one yesterday, ALLK, that went in the money. Great for me. Then it opened up, tanked, and me and you went back and forth on that name. And I think that's what's going to happen to a lot of these runners. ENSC yesterday, multiple halts in the afternoon, and it was tough to trade it if you didn't get out. So let's wait to see what happens with KTTA. Already fading back in a little bit here. We do have some support, I'm thinking anyways, in between $1.80 and $2. Like, that's where the action's been here today. So if we fall back down here, I think it's a buy. But yeah, I think we just got to be patient. We're already in this name. We've already taken profits, and we're pretty happy with it. So it's KTTA. I don't know if I'd buy right now. Maybe buy dips into $1.90, $2. But up here is where we're doing a lot of the volume right now. So let's see who wins. We still need the market to open up. It's only 9:01 right now. So 30 more minutes, and then maybe this gets going. But for right now, it looks like it wants to come back in, test that $2. So if you have FOMO, just put a bid like around $2. I'm sure it'll come back in. I mean, it's already pushing that way.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from KTTA though. Well, at least for now. I like to position trade. I'm not going to rush into some of these movers. And as Neil mentioned, what was a low flow runner is now picking up 8.7 million shares in the pre-market now, having done that. Moving strong, up 30 cents. This can still take off if we get north of what the overnight high is like 246, call it 250, round it up to 250. Then you could open up some activity. But I'm trying to position myself in some names here. I'm not finding a whole lot, but I am at least putting some orders down. Once I get some fills, I'll let you guys know. It'll show up on the board, right? So here we are waiting for some more names. I know Neil's got some more, so we'll go through them.
Yeah, we're gonna jump to Pfizer here, and I'm just gonna note here. Obviously, yesterday we had the emergency use authorization of their COVID treatment pill. And this was expected a couple of days ago, the news that it would be by end of year for them and Merck, and then we get the actual deal yesterday. So could be in patients' hands as early as this week. And as the futures made that slight turn to the downside, we had actually Pfizer going back towards, only up 1%, but back towards yesterday's highs at 60.60. Sean, I know you had a trade here in Pfizer. On the flip end of this, Moderna has been under a ton of pressure recently, just looking at the last couple of sessions this week, going in opposite directions. So Pfizer showing some strength here, Moderna going the other way. We'll get to NVAX as well, but thoughts on Pfizer here today?
Pfizer yesterday was a good trade for sure. I mean, I can review that in a minute. I think this is a great opportunity to buy Moderna, to be honest with you. I mean, there's a lot of talk right now about Pfizer, and, Moderna's kind of getting left by the side. I also think that Moderna does have some other things in their pipeline as well. I was reading about, treating some cancer with mRNA technology, things like that. And I just, I really, really like everything that Moderna is doing. But at the same time, I just, as sort of a value investor, which I kind of consider myself, I don't really, it's hard to wrap my head, around a name that I know was $5 a year and a half or 2 years ago, and now is 300. So that's, this is something that it's well up there. I am also very positive right now about COVID and about moving forward and about, the whole reopen thing. And if you're going to take that stance, then I don't know if buying Moderna, even here, even down to 220 is the right thing to do. And I don't even know if buying Pfizer is the right thing to do right now. So we're lucky because we live in North America. And honestly, access to vaccine, treatments, pills like this Pfizer pill here is readily available, and it became much more readily available yesterday when they approved that Pfizer pill. And we actually had that trade. So here it is right here. So I only made one trade. I mean, I'm trying to stay true to my word, right? Trade when we start seeing some volume. And yesterday that came out there that their treatment was approved and the pill's going to be ready to ship and going to be in Americans' hands ASAP. I don't think there's any word on that here for Canada yet, but a nice move to the upside right now. And, you know, Pfizer, again, same thing with Moderna. I think they have other things in the pipeline as well. I like both these names. I just think Pfizer's a little top heavy. We are, you know, at highs $62 right now. I know it's only at 60, but it's been a nice move to the upside. And I just wonder, again, like as we reopen and as Pfizer gets talked about less and less, which I'm hoping it does, maybe we do fade back down into this 50 level again. I mean, we were only here on December 8th and 9th. Like, this is 2 weeks ago. We were at $50, and now we're at 60. So I like everything here. It's just, I just don't know if it's worth pushing the button at any of these levels. If it comes back down to 59 and change, then maybe we have a trade on Pfizer. And the same thing for Moderna. I think if that came back to 220, maybe something. But again, on a daily chart, I want to be a buyer of Pfizer, but I don't want to do it until we get back much closer to the 50-period moving average. You could see the 50-period moving average, even through all of this, through all of everything that Pfizer's done, this is like the largest it's been away from it. So I think it's overextended is my take, long story short.
In terms of technicals, I'm just going to base it off on what I'm seeing for the intraday trade, right? And I'm looking at 62 even as the top end level. Get above 62, stay above 62, then we get a trade to the long side on an intraday basis. Sean's got a point there with it being slightly overextended, being this far away. It's accelerating further away from its moving average, which at some point is going to have a mean reversion kind of situation, which could be bad to the downside. But on the intraday side of things, we are looking at 62 to the upside. We're trading at, what are we trading at right now? We're trading at 60.20.
Flat, yeah.
60.20 on Pfizer. We've got some resistance up top. Now you could argue for a short if we were to move a little bit higher, maybe north of 60.50 and fail. That could be opening up a short. That's an idea to kind of work with for today as well. I'll mark that off and I'll keep that on deck for some sort of a move. But not just temporary expectations, but just be aware that the downside is limited, right? You're gonna go to 59 or so before you run out of space and you hit support. So whatever your price is up top, it's got to make sense for you to put a 62 risk as the stop level up top, and 59 is probably going to be your first target. You got to make sure that the risk makes sense at that point. But that's the only read I see. 62, either short in front of it or see if we can get a long if it breaks and holds just above it.
Just quickly here, Woodchuck Alaska, thank you so much for becoming a member. Woodchuck Alaska, shout out to you, my friend. And a big shout out to Brian James, who's a contributor, I believe, on Twitter and here on our chat as well. So 9 months. So we'll go, thank you for that one as Santa. And again, happy holidays to you and to yours as well. Everybody that's been a part of our family. And whether you're been here for 9 months or whether it's your first day here, Woodchuck Alaska, thank you so much, guys, for coming through, man. It's very important that we have that support, and thank you for Valeria for answering that as well. So yeah, you're always going to get the shout outs from us. We are working on, and this is my Christmas wish, is that we get that Streamlabs finally to work, because what it basically does is anytime someone posts a super chat or posts something in the as a new member, it would like show up on our feed so that we don't have to keep on pushing it, because I feel bad if we miss something, right? But thank you so much for the continued support on the show. We're going to work on that in the new year. Trader Prad has some ideas with that one. So not only is he a handsome individual, but he also knows how to code.
He's a very smart guy.
Apparently.
Very smart guy.
You say that as if it's a shock. I mean, no shock whatsoever. Trader Prad doing a fantastic job. I suppose Tencent doing a fantastic job for their shareholders because they're selling their share, or the bulk of their share, in JD.com. Those shares down 7%, well, 6.5% now, but we're down as much as 7% early in trading. Now they're doing this via sort of a special one-time dividend here, and they'll go from holding 17% to 2%. Walmart now, oddly enough, becomes the largest single investor in JD.com with like I think a 9% stake. It might have been a 7% stake. So Interesting about this for JD, because obviously you're going to see them under pressure here today, because the thought would be that some of those shareholders might not decide to hold their positions, and when they get this, they might actually sell off. But fundamentally, nothing's changed here. It's not necessarily directly bad news when it comes to regulation, although it is seen that Tencent could be doing this maybe to appease the regulators that they're not getting too big. But is there an opportunity here in JD? I mean, it's already bounced a couple of dollars here from the pre-market lows.
And I'm looking at JD, if we can get above 70 on JD. Right now, we're sitting at 68.95. So we're sitting on the daily, where we're sitting right here, about where that line is. If we can get north of 70, you can get above whatever should be considered resistance from the previous support level. If you get above 70, I think then you have a real chance of actually coming back up into the 72, 73. So I'm looking for that potential trade, but we got to get above 70. Again, this is one of those conditional trades where get above 70 and then see what the selling looks like above 70. So if they try to sell it down, we get buyers that come in, are willing to keep it just above 70. At that point, you can see that the buyers are going to be strong enough to absorb any selling north of there, so you go for the long at that point. But I am looking at 70 as a critical level on JD for the long. In terms of shorts, I don't know where you could actually get a short on JD. You could argue the low being 67. If we get below 67, you could get an extension. But the problem is, going back to August, you do have some support basing happening around 66 and change. So I'm not going to focus on the short side of it, but I am open to the idea of the 70 longs with this, whatever the stop is at the time. But I think north of 70 could be a nice little trade.
Yeah, I mean, talk about some Chinese names. We can't forget about Alibaba, as that's another name that we were trading yesterday. You remember this 118.50 area yesterday on Alibaba? So that's going to come into play one more time. You see, yesterday we were short, and then we got hit out when it broke through 118.50. I'm thinking that that's another play here today. So if we can be very, very specific, wait for this 118.50 level here on Alibaba, and then we always talk about this trade, that top wick. We got top wick yesterday on Alibaba after being short. This was the only negative stock I had trading yesterday. So we'll see if it can hit this 118.50 again today on Alibaba, but we're down here at 117 right now. So this is going to be a name that's a little bit of concern to me. And there goes KTTA again. It did make that move. I told you guys, if you had a little bit of FOMO, put some bids down here, 205, 206, and then maybe, catch that falling knife, but it didn't fall that much. I really thought maybe back into 2. Right now, KTTA looking like it wants to work out for us. So this is going to be another one of those runners, Neil. My number one look here on a low floater. We also are looking at ENSC today. So we have to be very, very patient and very, very specific on the names and the levels that we're looking at. It's not on our watch list today, Neil, but AMC has been my number one trade all week. And we are going to be very patient with this one. Today, Arun, my trades didn't load up. I was trying to show them to you yesterday. I'm going to wait for 28 flat because we've averaged into this a few times. My best trade yesterday, we waited down here. We waited at 05 and never got it. Then we went to 12 and got it. And then boom, it went ripped up a buck right at the end of the day. So I'm excited to grab some AMC. And I just saw a few more super chats and or something else fly through here. Thank you so much, GGC Playtime. Thank you for the $10. Number one fan, that's for sure. Thank you so much for the super chat. It means a lot to us. We'll definitely get a couple rounds of rum and eggnog in us with that. And Evil E, welcome. Thank you for becoming a member. It's $5 a month to support the stream. So that's, it's important to us that we have a couple members. I think we have a near 2,000 or so members. So thank you so much for becoming that. And it means a lot to us. Back over to Neil.
That is the second time you've mentioned rum and eggnog here today. And it's it's already got me thinking there, Sean. You should have brought some. We could have had some fun at the end of the show. But maybe having some fun in casinos in Macau, that's the best I can do for a transition here. And we're going to highlight Wynn. I know you might have talked about this already a little bit about looking for that on your sticky note, Sean. But any company, any of the operators related to Macau here, they're all trading higher pre-market. There was a 45-day public gaming consultation that came to an end. The results here have calmed some fears about new regulations that could hurt industry profits. Now, you've already had a pretty decent bounce here, and you can look at any of these names, MGM, Wynn making some moves, LVS as well, and maybe you lump these in with your CCLs and your NCLHs and some of the travel names, but up 4% on the session, right at some obvious key levels here on the daily chart. You can see right around this $90 mark. But yeah, what's our trade idea here? And maybe we can just sort of lump these in with the reopen names.
For sure. I mean, look, I've been, and shout out if Sam's on here just because I know Mr. Goldman on our chat has been with me on Win with this one. Look, from everything that I'm reading, Las Vegas doesn't even, like, I don't think COVID or Omicron even goes to Nevada because apparently Las Vegas has been absolutely bumping. I know a few of you have been there. Maybe you can confirm this in the chat. So not only does Win have a premium property in Vegas, right? They also have the Macau angle, and that has been what's been sour. So there's been a 45-day period ending today where they were going to analyze the business opportunities, socially, what it means, things like that for Macau. And apparently, there nothing really come from there. So I don't think that they're going to be removing licenses or anything like that. And Win's properties, and this is what I've talked about. And again, I told you I consider myself a value investor. I don't have too many of these crazy stocks. Like when we're talking about Palantir and things like that, sure, that's not a value play. But when their properties were valued at what their market cap is. So that to me sort of discounts all of the upside that can happen now from what is the most profitable business, I would think anyways, gambling. Because the house never loses. Sure, it might lose here and there, and maybe some of us go there and we pull that little lever and boom, you win $1 million or something like that. But guess what? There's 900 other thousand people that sit back there and pull that same lever and keep putting cash back in. I love Win. I love Vegas. I think this is an awesome opportunity. It even goes back down. I mean, the COVID lows where everything was shut down was $50. Okay, so as long as Macau gets going again, we do have some great baselines here at 70. We were waiting for that to happen to load it up, but we're already loaded between 80 and 82. So we really, really like that play. I've been tweeting this out. And then yesterday also, we had that top yesterday of 87, and I'm going to use that as the bottom today. So we're waiting. We already have a bid present in Win. We're waiting for 87 teens. I don't know. Hopefully I don't have to make that decision. We come down and we just get filled. But if not, then we trade this one on any dips. I like Win today. It's great news. It's up 4%. The volume, though, pretty sparse, 55,000 shares. That's not going to be a lot. So that's the only concern for me. It is a NASDAQ name, so those imbalances aren't in yet. But just a quick look at some of these. Pfizer, the only name of concern that we've talked about, and CCL. Other than that, it's a bunch of nothing. Alibaba at 85,000. I mean, all of these are really irrelevant. Do you have any thoughts on Win there?
On Win, yeah. As we approach 90, I am looking at potentially fading this because look at what we got. We've got a gap down that we've rejected a couple times going back to late November here. Looks like 90 is going to be a problem. So I want to see how much buying is left above 90. So if we get above 90 and we fail, or we get some selling coming in, then I'm definitely going to be shorting this with a 93 stop. So upside resistance on Win. And before I hand it off to Neil, Mike Rehan, thank you so much for that super chat. He says bottom shelf rum, top shelf eggnog.
I agree with that.
I agree with that too. I mean, eggnog's gonna.
We buy the most premium. Honestly, we buy the most premium eggnog. Like there's certain different ones, and
right.
and because I feel like that's the taste.
Well,
right? But I don't think you need to.
Neil disagrees. What's going on?
I honestly, to me, I'm not buying bad rum. It's not going to happen. So I'll go for English Harbor, 12-year age. That's Antiguan rum, by the way, and that's why I go for the egg. But high quality eggnog for sure. I 100% agree with that. But hey man, go with a good rum. But like I said, man, I've been on the bourbon trip here. The next name on the list, Sean, we might get flack for this because you traded Nikola the other day, and everyone was like, "Why are we trading Nikola?" Well, I mean, Nikola, they're up now 6%, approaching $10 on the session here. And hey, what? They got a first customer delivery of their Tray truck. It's a zero-emission truck. It's a Total Transportation Services in Southern California here. And apparently they have a deal for 100 of these. So, people have always said, it's hey, make some deliveries. Get some actual orders. Hey, they've got an actual delivery here for Nikola, trading towards 10. I shouldn't be laughing. Trading to $10 here, up 6% on the session.
Neil's frugal, but not with his rum here, as I see in the chat there. Someone said Canada has bad eggnog. What the hell? What does that even mean?
That's not right.
Who has good eggnog then? Let's.
Yeah, we need to know what the bar is. We need to know what the standards are.
Let's just say it is what it is, on the eggnog front. So, okay. So yeah, was I mocked for trading Nikola? Yes, I was. But was it a profitable trade? Yes, it was. So I mean, ultimately, that's all of us want. Is we want a little bit of that cash. We're wearing the green. We're trying to support you guys here today. And honestly, but the only reason, I hate everything that Nikola stands for. I hate that they took shareholders' money. I hate that Trevor Milton still, for some reason, is worth $1 billion or whatever the hell he's worth. A couple $100 million anyways. He was selling shares just last week. I don't even know how they even let him keep his shares. But on that note, what I was looking at was just this bottom. Arun, honestly, whether or not, just hide the name. If I just take this name and get rid of it, I don't think I can. I got to actually get rid of it. But would you not think that this is a bottom? I mean, we've made it here. We got to go all the way back to April. This bottom seems to be legit. Now, would I hold this for a long term? No, this could go to zero. But actually, no, it can't anymore. They just got that fleet delivery there. Not delivery. The order for those 100 trucks. I think Nikola can work from here, and I think it just needs to get through all this negative talk, like what I'm doing about the company. They're trying to move on, right? Let's see what Nikola can do. They were one of the first names out the gate about all of this stuff with hydrogen, with EV space. Nikola was a super hot name. Most of you guys know that. So there it is, man. I mean, I just think that you got to watch out for this $10 level. We're going to break it right now. The bottom's at 9. It is what it is. I said that under my breath. I don't know if you guys heard it when Neil was saying that I was sort of getting slack for that trade the other day, and it was literally just buying in front of $9. We were long $9.20 or something, or $9.30, and we were able to get it out in the 50s and the 60s. So we like Nikola here. I think there's some opportunities with that today. So let's see if Nikola can continue its ride up. Up now 6+%. So good trade here for Nikola. It's taken off, and let's just wait to see any pullbacks in this name, and I want to buy. I want to be a buyer around 940, 945. What's up, Miss V?
Hey Sean, it's Christmas just in 2 days, and guys, thank you so much for sending all the super chats. We appreciate your support so much, and thank you for all the nice wishes. We wish you a wonderful holidays, beautiful Christmas, and upcoming New Year. And I want to shout out to Calvin Han for sending us $100 super chat, saying, let me buy around for the team. Happy holidays, team. So maybe we can try that drink you guys talking about, something egg? Yeah. Eggnog.
Oh, Miss V, if you have not had eggnog, we have to make sure we rectify that. Yeah, that's right. Hey, our Santa Claus rally needs to start next week. Just quickly, I think it was Dominic with the super chat there. This ARQQ, they have Virgin Orbit and Arkit expand launch agreements here. This was yesterday that we got that news. I know they had a bit of a spike in yesterday's trade. So if you're wondering what that is, that's what that one is about. I wanted to talk, if we could, maybe just jump down to the bottom of the list lastly here, guys, because KXIN, Caxton Auto, they're up 24%. And again, you have another small cap runner up 15%. Well, he was up 15% when we wrote this here, but they got an order for 10,000 customized electronic trucks here. And the deal is a 5-year deal, potential $250 million worth of value. So another small cap name running. I'm looking at this one myself here, just making a move towards these highs. It's got a level here in the daily chart at about $2, but other than that, it's just another one of these small cap runners. I know ENSC is pretty interesting, and KTTA is already run. Thoughts on KXIN?
Well, for me, I'm going to stay away from KXN. This is not in my wheelhouse at all. Even though it's moving, it's at 175. There's resistance. The way I look at it, there's resistance pretty much every 5 pennies up. So is there a way for me to play this? The way I trade, I don't think so. I think in terms of just figuring out trades, I'm not sure how I'm going to go about getting a trade on KXIN, so I'm not going to get involved in that. Futures I'm looking at as well. I just noticed Win popped north of $90. Remember, we're looking to see how much selling comes in as we get above 90. So it looks like for now, 90 Win. So we are north of 90 on Win. I'm just looking to wait for some selling, then we can figure it out. JD is still an option south of or north of 70. That's falling off a little bit right now. So we're waiting for some other trades, but not rushing into anything. And all this eggnog talk is making me want some eggnog today. I think I'm going to go get some during lunchtime because I haven't had any this season yet. So I think it's time to go get some eggnog.
You don't have it just plain. I mean, you can't just drink eggnog.
Well, we can use Calvin's super chat to get Neil some fancy rum.
Yeah, exactly. Fancy pants, Neil over there. Yeah, so Merck right now comes out, FDA approval, same as yesterday with Pfizer. But unfortunately right now, you have to battle with, I mean, we're in the trade. It's only because there's only 6 minutes to go here before we open up. This is a very, very light position on this trade. I saw the news. I was like, you know what, 76.50, let's just take it. We had yesterday's high there of 70. Well, actually, no, yesterday's high, yeah, 76.50, so that's right. So that's what we got it. We got that price. That's where we're long right now. I want to have a starter position, and just for those of you guys that are in Merck, let's just do a little bit of work here because this may start to move a little bit more for us here. What is this bottom? Yeah, so 75.50 maybe, something to work with. I'm going to give this a little bit more room and like feed, my inner Arun here and let this one breathe a little bit because the bottom 74.50, 75, something like that. So let's see where Merck wants to go from here. That's a good approval. Obviously, we saw the move yesterday in Pfizer, but don't forget, and I'm not forgetting, so don't forget what Pfizer did yesterday. Where's the daily chart here? We hit this and quit this right here. That's still Merck. Hold on a second. Let's get this loaded up. We hit it and quit it right in this area here. That's the approval on their pill yesterday for Pfizer. And then you see it fade right back down, come right into where it was before the approval. So that's something to keep an eye on when you're trading Merck. It didn't necessarily rally Pfizer too bad there yesterday. So again, if it comes right back into what we're talking about here, Merck, I think, has a decent buy around 75. And then we do have that bottom that we talked about, which is that 74.50. So we'll put something else on the bid here, see if we can get that. Thank you again, guys. Yeah, if we can do a run on Super Chats, that would be fantastic, man. We will. Thank you so much, Derek. That means a lot to me. Thank you for liking the sweater. I like everybody else's sweater. It's been absolutely fantastic. Rob looks like a wrapped gift, I guess, today. No, an elf. An elf, right? Santa. What is that, Santa? Let's go. Let's see that. Let's go. There it is right there. Oh, then he's got the hat on there. Like that shirt. Thank you, Rob, as well. Everybody being very, very festive. Maggie. Natalie's got the antlers on here. Pretty good. But because I've already crushed this water, Arun, I'll be right back.
It's hilarious he says that because what I'm doing on the side is I'm actually on the LCBO website looking at rum.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, Neil. Okay, back to you, Neil.
I just wanted to point one thing out very quickly here. I usually go to the desk at this time or go to the big screen and show you what I'm looking at in small cap. I'm looking at this AEN SC here, actually going short a small position in front of the $6. It could make a spike to the all-time, to the daily high here at 650. That would give me a pop and fade trade. The other thing to keep in mind with both Pfizer and Merck is remember 2 days ago we got the headline that both of those pills were going to get approval before the end of the year. That was the headline that we dropped on the show, and then the next day Pfizer gets the approval, and today Merck gets the approval. So to some extent, if they do pull back in, it could have been priced in simply because of that fact. This is not necessarily a surprise. It was telegraphed that they were very likely. Positive news for the overall market. Each day this has usually rallied the market, so hopefully that can continue here, Arun.
Yeah, ENSC we're talking about, are we?
So that's Merck.
Oh, Merck. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I got distracted by me Googling rum. Anyways, Merck taking off to the upside. Okay, so the thing with Merck is, actually, let me pull up the chart right here on Merck. It's a New York stock. Okay, it's 76 even. This is what I thought too. 76 even pretty much puts us in range from yesterday's close. We were down a little bit towards the 75, but as long as we can get into that 75 and change, we've got some support for the last 3 days here. So 75 looks like it wants to hold. It's not exactly 75. I think the low is like just south of 75.
Yeah, it's
74.89. So call it slippage. So we can still argue 75 is your support point. It needs to get back down around 75.50, 75.75 to make this trade worth it. Why? Because you are getting resistance north of 76.50 into 77. So it is a limited upside, but there is potential for a nice little move. This is what it looks like on the 5-minute chart, the intraday. Why did I make this an NQ? It's an New York stock. It's up. There we go. Come on. Relatively flat, but it is up a good 50 cents or so in the last few minutes. So here we are popping and moving towards that resistance level from yesterday, also around the closes. So keep an eye on how it trades here. We need it to move down to where it came from, which is that 75.50, 75.75 to make sense of this risk. There is a trade, limited upside though, so control your risk if you do decide to go long.
I just put in our chat, we're gonna make this happen. So let's just do that.
What?
Let's actually drink rum and eggnog on the 2 p.m. show. You down with that?
I'm down with that.
Okay, I'm down with that too. Neil's down with. I'm not even gonna ask Neil. Neil's down with that. Valeria's gonna be down with that. So come back for 2 p.m. Oh shoot! Get ready. Who's doing the bell? Oh, she's over there. Woo! Okay, good. Whoa, hello. Yeah, so we are gonna do that. We are gonna be drinking rum and eggnog officially on the closing show right there. I asked a question in the chat, and then I just went over everybody and said we're gonna do it. So let's see. As long as we get some approval, are we allowed to drink on YouTube? Yeah, we've done it before. That's right. Yeah, exactly. And we will do it again. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go, Ms. V. We are ready to rock and roll. We do have our first out going to be happening here on Merc. If it does touch that 77 again, we will take a piece out. We are also sitting on the bid to see if we can get more on these longs. And as I look, CCL, WIN, ENSC, and AMC on the watch.
Yeah, so I picked up some longs on Qualcomm here. QCOM long, 181.23. What's the stop on this? I put this in the pre-market. South of 177 is where the stop on this is going to be. I think we're above that 180. It gives us some clearance to actually get some movement to the upside. So I'm going to take a shot on the long. I am keeping an eye on WIN. Remember, I talked about WIN being south of 90, kind of sets up a potential short. We just need to make sure there's no buying coming in. So we're going to look at, why does this not come through? Okay, Qualcomm. There we go.
Waiting for
Qualcomm
AMC
filled right there on a cross back down. We're still sitting in the mid. Right now it's at 70, so we're about 46 cents in the money. But the spread is absolutely nuts. It's about to take 42, 182 even, and I just got filled on a cross down right through some support. So we're doing all right for now, but this thing can change very quickly. There goes 182. So this is already 86 cents in the money on Qualcomm as we get filled right off across through the bottom there. So that's doing well. We still got to look at, now it just popped off on my radar. I got to go through these, but I'll let you guys know before I hand it off to Sean here. AMAT, I'm looking, well, I've got AMAT on the board, Micron and MasterCard, all ones that I want to take a look at, and WIN as well, south of 90 if we get there. We're sitting right there, but I want to see a little bit more action before I decide to go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for covering that. I don't really have much on the go right now. I was trying to wait to see if Nicola was going to fade back in. Taking a look at some of these other runners like a SOPA here through 16. Come on, charts. Through 1650, coming back to the downside. We do have this downside area here on SOPA 1550. Remember yesterday we got that super chat talking about do you hold this overnight or not? Well, now you don't have to worry about it. It's right where it was before. So now you can make your decision here today on SOPA. But yeah, I like these names. Let's just wait to see where we go. Breaking new lows, maybe on this name as well. KTTA not really doing anything here, so that's something that's not really exciting yet. It does go up to 220 and we get out. We'll see if I can retest that again. And then my other position, Merck right now, we're waiting at 75.50 there. I guess we should have been a little bit higher. Let's see if it does come back in and test us. I still do like Merck, and here goes that Qualcomm must be rocking because there goes the futures right now. So pick out some good names for you guys and run these to the high side.
Yeah, well, I went through the board here that I had. Well, Qualcomm's doing quite well. It's $1.52 already in the money. It's about to take 183, and we're long 181.23. So we're doing just fine on Qualcomm, so we'll leave that alone. I put an alert out for AMAT, and I put the alert out if we got above 151. Turns out the market wanted to open at 153, so no chance of getting the fill. That is not even going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that AMAT order because it makes no sense at this point. So we'll just ride the one that we have. JD falling off, so that potential read north of 70 is kind of out the door for now. MasterCard is the other one that the alert that went off. And why did MasterCard go off? Oh, that's right, because I want to go potentially long on MasterCard as long as we can stay above 356. Give it a little bit more time. We haven't done enough volume just yet for me to go long on MasterCard, but I am looking potentially north. As long as we can stay above 356, there could be a nice little trade there with a stop south of 350. So it's going to cost, about $6 and account for some slippage as well. But MasterCard, another name, and then Micron being the third one that I'm looking at as well. Micron being, if we get below 90.50 on Micron, I'll go for that trade there as well on Micron.
All right. Darn it, we just missed KTTA, ripped all the way to 40 there. We weren't even on the offer. So we'll take it to 28, 29. There it is. We got one of those. 28 or 29 there. Now it's going to go back up to the upside, so we don't have any worries right now about KTTA because right now we'll go WTF. This is a big runner here through $2 and now back up to the upside. We didn't get any longer here. Okay, here we go. We should be right here. We are on Merck at 50. Let's just cancel this and then just market this in because honestly, at this point, what does it really matter about the prices that we get here on Merck other than that it's just right through 50 now. So there it is. We'll get this. We'll buy some 40s now on Merck. That's that bottom. What we're looking for is that 74.50. I'm going to give it down to there. It doesn't look like this approval really means anything to Merck and actually going to the downside. Now Merck now red after getting approval for their pill. So I don't know why it's going to the downside, but we do have some of those bottoms that we did talk about here on the 20-minute. Here's the 20-minute chart. On the 20-minute chart of Merck, it's down in here. It's really this 74.75 that Arun and I both talked about. So I'm actually going to give it to that. We'll buy one more down here, low 75s, which we almost just tested, and that's going to be the trade there on Merck. It looks like we did miss out on Win a little bit as that's starting to go upside. At least it was. What is it now? Yeah. So 90. Stops there at 91. Maybe now we buy a little more aggressive. Maybe we now buy in like the 88 area. Still trying to wait for low 87s on that name. That's all that I have right now, just those two spots. Palantir hovering around 919 as well. That could be a breaking spot for Palantir, especially look at the market, man. We talked about Santa Claus rally coming through, and it looks like today it is back because you're up that another 0.28 right here on the market. So let's watch Palantir maybe breaking through 19, but again, it doesn't look super strong. Would rather buy this in the low 18s again.
Yep. As I send my order in for MasterCard, I'm trying to get some longs on MasterCard, see if we can grab some fills. Just north of 356. Okay, Win. I'm trying to get some shorts on Win. I think it might be time for some shorts for me, at least. I'll give it a shot. There's enough sell side action as the futures take off to the upside. Let's see if I can grab a fill on the short side. Do I want the short? Neil?
Yeah, there's nothing funny about Nikola now. Nikola almost up 10%. It broke out through that $10 level right here at the open, up 10 1/4 now. So continuing to run. Hey, they got their first delivery. So good move here on Nikola, continuing to run on a volume spike at the open. Shares Nikola approaching that 10% mark.
All right, we are now into AMC, and I don't know. This is the price that we were expecting to get, so that's why we put our bid down there. We said we got to be very, very specific with what we're trying to do here on AMC. So you could see we're just going to sit here, man, and I'm not letting this break. Well, I mean, I'll let it break 28 a little bit, but not much more than that. Just a couple pennies lower than 28, and we're going to slap out of that. So we'll wait to see. We're going to average into this position here on AMC. So that's another name that we're going to be looking at today. It's down 1.75%. Traded really well yesterday. My trades aren't showing up, but it's been a #1 stock for me. So let's see. We didn't get that reload, which I wish we did down there. There it is. A quick little profit-taking spot right there for AMC as we're going long at 20, out there at 40 or 35, and now we're up to 38. So here goes AMC. KTTA still going. Merck trying to go, man. We have that bottom pick there. What's my average price on Merck? 76.15. So I don't know. I don't know if those wicks are real or not up there, but 76.30 back in. So we'll see if we can get something out in the mid 76s if it wants to run. But we do like it. Let's just wait to see on AMC. Remember, we are reloading near that bottom.
Right, as the futures take off, we're now sitting at 47.10 on the futures. I've picked up another long here on Coinbase here. I'm long 254.25. Stop is going to be south of 250 and change. So here we are long twice now, long on Coin and long on Qualcomm as the futures here take off to the upside, going strong. Remember, we're not going to do a whole lot with the futures. This is what we've seen in the last little bit, in the last few days, where it's been quite the move to the upside off the
Monsters.
open. And then we kind of go sideways for a little bit and then continue the move in the afternoon. So here we are. I'm looking to fade this, but I'm going to be smart about this. When I mean fade, I mean I'd like to be short, but at the same time, I got to time this out really well. The last 2 times I wanted to fade this, we never really got the setup, so we never went ahead and took the trade. So the way the market is moving, as long as we can get above 47.20, I know we've got resistance up there. Can we actually spin this trade around? I'm not sure just yet. Respect the strength of the market. The market wants to go up. I look over Qualcomm, $1.29 in the money. Coinbase, $1.32 in the money. I just got in this trade. So it is moving hard and
The
fast
market's
at the
rallying,
moment.
boy.
Yep.
What up, V?
Hey, Sean, we've got a super chat from Magdouble. How do you feel about AMD, guys? And by the way, shout out to William Craig for also sending us a super chat with goal emoji. AMD, guys?
Let's go. Yeah, send those super chats as we are going to be having some rum and eggnog at our final show, final show of before Christmas, I should say here, as we go up. I will look at that as AMC right now. I know the super chat was for AMD. We will go to AMD in a minute. But right now, AMC on a nice little move up to the upside now. We did pick that bottom, and we said it, guys. We said this live on air. And if you're not live on air, that's fine. Maybe you're checking out the sticky note again today, because support at 28, and there's the word, be patient. So we were patient on this one, and now we have that 30-cent winner because of that. So thank you, for the super chats, and thank you for AMC today, AMC gods. All right, AMD right now. Let's go over to that one. This has just been a name. Thank you so much, Greek NYC. You've been a good helper and supporter of the show as well. Thank you for becoming a member 10 months ago. The Greek NYC re-upping now. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so AMD right now. Again, it's just a matter of what you think about this market, right? AMD yesterday was actually pretty weak off the open. We saw, okay, here it is right here. So yesterday we traded AMD like mad. Took all of these trades. What did I just get in? I just got a CCL long, so I have to address that. But yesterday, a nice little move downside in AMD. And then we saw the rally where we actually only wound up taking $1.50, and then it ran $5 for us. So let's see if we can play some dips in AMD again. Maybe back down here to 144 is coming through. It just depends on what you think about the market. Is it going to withhold some of these downward pressure here today? So let's wait to see. I still think there's going to be some selling, especially off of a nice pop. But with that being said, I'm in 4 longs. So, okay, there's CCL, new position. Anyways, thank you for the super chat, AMD. I'm a buyer of that name, but just make sure that you don't hold it through some of those lows of 143.50. Okay, CCL coming in. We did talk about this name. I had this name yesterday. Let me just see what I'm doing here. The bottom, I was saying, was 21. Can we give it a little more room to the downside? Maybe 2080 right there, the pop-off spot 2 days ago. But right now, CCL coming back in here for us. Again, that's where we're long. There's 21.20. That's why we're taking that. That bottom is 20, so we don't want that to fall through. Yesterday, 2090 maybe. Some support there, 2085. So we'll hold this one, see if it's going to continue to work for us. But CCL, a new position. AMC's coming back in. Merck we've got, and we've got KTTA rocking to the top side as well. So far, so good here today. Your longs, I don't know if you got out of them or what they're still doing, but that is a decent run back down here in the market.
Yeah, as these $1.50 winners are not coming back in now. Coin is only up 12 cents, running crazy. I am looking for shorts. I'm still looking for that win short. I'm just trying to figure out where to price this around that 90 area. So we are still looking for some shorts as the market comes back. Neil?
Another movie here, Heisen Motors. Canaccord initiated coverage with a buy rating and a price target at $12. They just broke to the high of the day, up 10% or so. You are getting some decent movers here. Nikola's still looking pretty strong. Moderna, by the way, Moderna broke the bottom. So when the market goes up, Moderna goes down.
Yeah, we're just talking to ourselves here about this market, not the market cracking. Sorry, AMC just cracked down below there. So I'm waiting to see. It looks like there might have been that wick off bottom around 80 there. So let's go back into this. I didn't get those shares. Oh God, there we go. Now we're long 86. So let's just see if that bottom right there does decide to hold. But again, we don't want to chase these things, especially today, forever. So there's that bottom there at 75. We'll try to hold it a little bit lower than that, maybe 27.69 or something like that on a 70 break. We'll get out of AMC, yeah. So we'll try that one more time. Just playing off that bottom. We could have just got wicked out. Thank God we were able to take some profits there. We talked about that at 28.50, but there's that support at 28 even. It broke it, so we got out. Other than that, everything is pretty good for us right now. Merck's battling back. I mean, obviously this AMC was a losing trade, and it looks like it may happen again here, taking out new bottoms. This is not, you know, we're not going to die on AMC today. It's already been $21 earlier on a week ago, or maybe even Monday, and we're not going to sit there and let this thing fall against us. If the apes aren't there and retail's not there today, then we don't have any need to sit here. So we'll test it one more time. Here it is. It just took out the bottom again. So we're at 69er. There it goes. So now we're gone. So now let's flip the switch a little bit. Maybe we look for some shorts, but we're going to leave AMC alone, let it decide what it wants to do. But for right now, it's looking like a big profit-taking day on AMC, and I may just flip this switch and then use 28 as the out for any shorts. But back and forth here on AMC. Better look at something else for now.
Yep. Okay, what am I looking at? Micron taking off. Okay, coin's not doing a whole lot. Qualcomm going back up. That's not the one I wanted to talk about. What did I want to talk about? Netflix. Okay, AMC, Sean talked about. I was eyeing 28 for potential shorts. I am going to look for some shorts on AMD. Just wait for a little bit more. Can we go a little bit further down, then kind of pop back up? I'd like to fade that. Netflix coming back in towards that just underneath 610, into that 609 and change area. If we find some support, I'd like to go long on Netflix as well, because I think there's a potential here for this to kind of bounce off some support here. I think the stop on this is going to be just south of 605 and change, so we can put up a few bucks. It's probably going to be like $4 or $5 or so if we decide to go for the long. But again, we need to wait for that support to come in, wait for that buying to come in, because right now the market has kind of rebounded from that little sell move. We went from 47.14 down to 47.08. Now we're at 47.12, so we are getting some buy-side action coming in. Oh man, Netflix is accelerating to the downside, so maybe the long is not going to work there. But Win, okay, I'm going to have to step down on Win, looks like. I'm not going to get the price that I wanted. I may have to move down just south of 89 to make this trade work.
Merck, I mean,
high risk though.
Win, yeah, but where is it now?
It's at 88.92.
Ooh, Win coming back in here. There's AMC. I was literally waiting at 70 to get that short off of these longs. We saw the failed longs. Small hitter, whatever. You know, we've been really hitting AMC pretty good this week. And then, you know, today, obviously, it wants to fade out. So we're not going to try to pick up any bottoms. If anything, we want to fade pops at this point in AMC. And another name, again, that we were doing really well on that seems to be coming right back out now is CCL. So there it is, just straight to the downside here. Like, I was talking positively about the virus and about the reopen here. So let's see now if we can get some windfalls from that thinking now. Back up to the upside would be really nice for CCL here. So we've averaged in on that one. And I do have an out order put in there. And again, it's a break of that 80 level. So if you see CCL here, we did a little bit of work. I mean, it's not crazy. It's just yesterday before we had this long as well. But before we got going, it did stop a little bit at 2090. So let's give this a little bit more room down here to 2080. But we could get easily cracked out on this one as well as it's looking right now. A lot of things moving around here, including Pfizer. I see someone say Pfizer, bang. So let's see what Pfizer did there. Yeah, beautiful move back down to 59. Perfect. That's the kind of stuff we're talking about. Buy some of those dips. And right now, Merck is a banger for us right now as we go diamond hands on Merck. Hold this name. See if we can get back up to the upside on this name. So, you know, just like we're holding AMC and CCL, we actually held Merck and we have a bottom tick there off 75.50. So hopefully that can come in and work a little bit better for us. What's up, Ms. V?
Hey, Sean, Crocs is down more than 10% on the day. Do you guys see any opportunities in Crocs for yourself?
Crocs, what's the symbol?
CRX. I believe it's CRX, is it?
No, it's not CRX.
CROX.
Neil?
Yeah, look, Crocs is making an acquisition of Hey Dude. I think it's about a $2.5 billion deal. So they are under pressure here because of that deal. Like they're talking about, you know, some synergies going to be made there, but they are making a big move to the downside. Following the deal, clogs from Hey Dude will represent about 57% of product sales. So it's a $3.4 billion deal, and it should be cash in stock from what I'm looking at here. So Crocs falling heavily. A lot of times you see cash in stock deal in the acquirer is going to be under pressure and just falling like an absolute rock here towards about 124, looking like it's already breaking some support from all the way back into October. So this is on Deal News that Crocs is falling. Not the only name. JD as well, continuing to fall as well. So JD, Crocs, and Moderna looking pretty weak.
Yeah.
Right.
Quick update. I've dumped my coin position. I don't like the amount of selling coming in on coin, so I'm going to walk away. I might be able to reprice this later, but we still netted out positive because the spread was like $1 and change. I came in and cut the spread, and I got filled, so I still made 25 cents or so on coin. So we're going to walk away from
did
coin.
SOPA just halt?
Yeah, SOPA did halt to the upside. It's looking. I closed at 17.93 as of right now. The opening projected price is 17.83, so maybe 10 cents below where it goes. And as I say that. What was that?
NSC.
Netflix, actually. Netflix might be ready for a long. Remember, I was talking about that long, so we might be going in on Netflix very soon.
Yeah, and ENSC, another one here that just ran up as well, close to halting there as well. ENSC, I mean, I'm wondering if we take out this 575 or so area right here, what we're going to do with ENSC as it just made a nice move off of 5. We talked about that. It's actually on our sticky note about support being down there near 5. So we did talk about that earlier if it's not on the note. We talked about it at 8:30 down here near $5, and it looks like that's trying to hold out as well. So far so good on some of these plays at least, guys. ENSC, if you had that 5, it's now up to 550. That's going to be a good one. What was the other one? SOPA.
SIG?
Yeah, I forget, the one that we got the super chats on yesterday, should we hold it? I think it was just SOPA coming through today. Mark, the realtor, Disney 160 next week. Thank you for that, Mark, for the $2 there, and happy holidays to you and yours on the Disney call out. Their DraftKings back down to $29 as well as I look. Tesla just dancing right now. Let's check out Tesla quickly here. Tesla dancing around. Amazed that bottom at 998. Wow, we talked about that 990 level. That's come through here. But Tesla just making moves back to 1014. Good little level there on the pre-market. Basically the pre-market high when we battled back. So this may be something to look at for a short as well if you felt like the market was going to fade out today. Tesla right here, not a horrible play on the short side. What's up, Neil?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It was just SOPA that we got the super chat for, but another one of these runners here trying to go with AERC. And if you remember this one from earlier in the week, or definitely yesterday in the afternoon, this broke out to $16. Another incredibly depressed stock, which has been running the entire week. It just broke the high of the day now. Watch out for that resistance at 16. So the theme hasn't really changed here. It's these lower float runners that have been going on a daily basis. If they find themselves a bid, and this, I was just telling Valeria, the same thing on SOPA where it broke the day's low here, did not break afternoon support, and then made a bit of a bottom. SOPA pulled the same move and now breaking to the upside. Watch out, $16 on AERC.
All right, so I was just talking about short on Tesla, and then now I found myself long. So I'm just going to try to go long ahead of VWAP, but I'm not going to give it too much down on the downside here. Basically like 108.50, something like that, which is basically where VWAP is there. So we'll see if Tesla wants to work, but we are long right now, 112.50 on this name, noticing that 114 is the high, but I'm thinking that we could run back up to the upside here. So let's see if Tesla does give us those feels, good for us, but we'll see if it wants to go, just trying to protect some of the downside there with those outs. So we'll see if it goes or not, but right now we are testing some longs here in Tesla. So that's something that a little bit of an area of concern, but it has fallen back down. I think there is a chance that we can run back up to 1020. So let's hold out hope for that Tesla trade right now. But again, we don't need to be in anything today. If the volume's too light, there could be like one market order that just sends this thing just crumbling. So we do have to have our outs, and mine's going to be at 108.50.
Yeah, I just picked up some shorts on Piton. Piton took out 36. It's moving fast today, actually. It's down $1.50 from the open. And here we are down almost 5% on Piton. And we took out a critical level, I think it's a critical level. This 36, which has been holding quite well in this downtrend. 36 has bounced once, but at the same time, we've hesitated in front of 37 and change a couple times. So finally taking out that one-time hesitation move to the downside kind of activates some sort of a downside move, I would think. So here I am taking the short south of 36 even. We'll stop on this is going to be north of 38. So we'll put up $2 to find out whether we can actually get a move to the downside. It is out about 15 cents right now. I'm still trying to get my longs on Netflix. Netflix is very, very thin and already moving towards 613. My long is sitting here just north of 610. So we are looking for some Netflix trades or for some Netflix entries. Hard to come by right now. But apart from that, the only trade I've got, I actually dumped my Coinbase, and Coinbase is still, I think Coinbase was still going, or it was roughly, Yeah, oh, and damn, it came back. Okay, snap back. So maybe that was the wrong idea. But anyways, I'm not going to get involved in Coinbase because I know what I was seeing up top was a decent amount of selling coming in. So we're going to walk away from Coinbase, even though the read might still be there. I don't trust the volume coming in, so we're going to walk away from that. Win, I like to still get some shorts on Win as we bounce up into the 89.5, 90 even area. So that'd be a nice little trade if I can get it. Not a whole lot else that is moving apart from the two positions I've got. We've got Qualcomm long 66 cents in the money, but it's going sideways. It's lost any juice it had this morning when it was at 183 right off the open. Now it's back at 181 and change. So that's only 57 cents in the money. And then we just picked up some Piton, which is bouncing off that 36. So hopefully we get a downside flush in Piton, which is already down 4% like I mentioned. And then futures climbing looks like back towards the highs. The highs are about 3 points away right now, sitting just north of 47.16.
So we'll have to get beat up because right there Tesla does break back down below. So there we go. We take that $3 hit on that name or $4 on that. You know what? That's fine. I mean, for me, that's fine. I hope that, a lot of you may be using that same level. We'll see. It looks like 108.50 might have been the right level as it's just bouncing around right now. So, again, the futures, I think it was fine. Like, I don't think there was any problems here with the read. I mean, we got long down here, and then the futures popped up. It just looks like the wrong stock and then maybe the wrong price. Like, we just got out at that 108.50 there, and you could see now it's starting to make that move a little bit back upside. So, again, maybe you got to... the mistake really is if you're going to trade a name like Tesla today, it probably needs to give it a little more room. We talked about being patient with AMC, with CCL, with some of these names. As CCL comes right back up and we're able to take profit on a little bit there on CCL. Now it's dumping down. As you can see, the futures now cracking lower. So maybe there is something here about getting out of some of these positions before you get put out by the market. But right now, all's good. We still are long CCL right here at 12. So all is nice in that name. And then Merck still battling this one. So hopefully Merck will continue to pop up and we can get something around this 76.50 area.
Yeah, futures are coming back. When I last left it was at 47.13. Now it's back at 47.07. Sell side move coming in. I'm noticing that Qualcomm is starting to lose a little bit here. We're still 18 cents in the money, but remember, we were up like $1 and change initially. And then Piton also bouncing as the market comes off. Piton is bouncing, is doing its own thing, but it is bouncing up now at 18 cents out. I am looking at SOPA. Everyone's talking about SOPA. I am looking at it. It's going out. Wow,
SOPA
nuts.
Again, right?
Yeah, they cracked 20 real quick, and then they brought it right back down. It's NASDAQ, yeah, why not? Okay, yeah, here we go. Done 17 million shares on the day. There's a lot of volume flowing through this area here. What I would key off on is this 18 level. In the event that we actually break, say, 19 and go towards 1850, see how much buying comes in, because if there's a decent amount of buying that comes in around 1850, which I would assume to be the closest support point that we have, because if we lose 18, then you could be in trouble. But for the time being, as long as 18 holds, that 1850 should provide some support and move this back to the 20 level, I would argue. So here I am waiting for potential moves on SOPA, but I want it to come down first. Now, if we keep going up, I'm going to leave hands off on this. I don't like chasing stocks that are already running unless we're taking out some major levels. And I think we already took out that major level yesterday when we took out 16. So that's going back to, I think, a November 24th high. So here we are waiting for some sort of a move on SOPA. Here we go. To the downside we go on SOPA. Can we get into the 1850s and find some buyers? If that's the answer, I'll be joining you guys on the long side on SOPA. Anything north of 20, I'm a hands off.
Yeah, and just a quick look here on ENSC as well. Because we're talking about runners, I have this on the list. I think if we could take out this 565 area, we're going to punch, we're not I think we are going to punch the long if we could take out 565 here and see if it can get at least a 6 and then take a little bit of profit there and not hold out forever. But I do think that there is a good opportunity here on this name if it does take out this $6. We've got, or this 560. We've built a nice base here on this name, so that's something that we will definitely look at very, very soon. What's Tesla doing? Tesla goes all the way down to 104 there, 1,004, of course, down to the downside on that one. Where's our AMC right now? Wow, shoot, man. Oh,
I try to get some too.
Yeah, I know. It just didn't come back up for us to get that short. Darn it. So I'm just going to cancel my shorts at this point because they're way up here. Like I was just hoping for a little bit of a pullback, but man, we would have looked real smart going short. But there it is, a big move back down. And again, do not do not want to defend any of these levels, to be honest with you. But if you are looking at this, 26 is held right here, and then it broke, right? And so that's, there could be something here at 26. We opened up on the 16th at 26 before fading back into 24. And then obviously on the 17th is when the move started up to 30 again. But there's that $20 bottom that we talked about, or $21 bottom that we had mentioned before. So that's always something to look at. But hey, maybe down here at 26. If you did want to test it, couldn't blame you. It's a nice move to the downside here on AMC. But again, until the bulls come back in on this name, I just don't know if it's going to be a tradable here for me on the long. Finding some levels maybe here, maybe on a 27 break, but honestly, AMC just too far down. It's way off. Let's look at some other names. Let's see if Neil has one.
Yeah, I've got another one here, and I hate to say it. It's a 12 million share float on SRTS. I could find absolutely no news here that is recent, and you triple top on the daily chart. That's what I think is of interest right here at about 825, 830. Triple top on the daily. It just spiked into that range, now up 12% on the session. So once again, you got to find these ones that are moving here. We are seeing the market pull back a little bit, but SRTS, certainly another runner. Now just broke that high, attempting to get to that 850 mark. So we've got another one on our hands.
Yeah, so I am in. All of a sudden, ENSC, I don't know what we got started on that name, but it was down at 530, 540, and then it just rips up and puts us long. So now we're long 67, but that's fine. We don't actually mind this trade. So we'll hold out for this one. Let's just, let's see if we can catch AMC here with a little bit of a prayer here to the upside on AMC. It just broke through. Let's see if it wants to continue. This bottom's right here. I'm just going to get out if it breaks the bottom. I mean, it's really that simple. Nothing about that 26.80. So for right now, we're long 27. We're going to give this one 20 cents. So we at least need this to get back to 27.50, 27.60 before we do anything. So first offer 27.50 here on AMC. Let's see if we can get this to go. What's up, Miss V?
Hey guys, it's like o'clock. I know you're busy trading, and here I am to remind you to like this video and to let you know how it is important for us to know you enjoy what we do. Please, team, turn the thumbs to the upside, and back to the guys.
Thumbs up, people. Hey. Hit that like button. Okay.
There it is, 1,000 likes, baby.
Oh, we hit 1,000 already?
Yeah, that's what that old man running up his fist is all about.
Okay, so we're talking about AMC. AMC going to the downside. So I quickly looked over at GME. I'm like, what's GME doing? GME is also quite to the downside. Falling off from I think it was around 153 and change, all the way up to, come on now, it's just north. Oh boy, I can't even type properly now. It's GME in New York. There we go. Okay, just north of 149 now. And I wanted to see what would happen if we got close to 150, because I'm open to shorting this if we can actually get some fading. So if we run out of steam to the buy side, maybe there could be a short on GME because it's still within the price bands that I can work with. Now, AMC is completely gone, but GME could be an option to work with. As I look over, I'm like, Win is taking 88. Oh, really though? I was trying to get these shorts up in 90. All right, Win is gone. The trade on Win is gone. That would have been a great entry if I could have got it. I got the read, but I didn't get the entry. Anyways, GME is an option now for potential shorts. Around here, if we can actually kind of gauge what the buy side looks like, if there's enough buying, then we hands off. But if buying dries up, then it's time to jump on board and try to catch something. As I look over at SOPA, getting closer and closer to that 20 even, now sitting at 1990, 1995. We're getting closer and closer to that 20. It looks like people want to see what it looks like north of 20. So we were still carrying Qualcomm. That's up 55 cents. And Piton refuses to go below 36. So maybe, you know what, I was basing 36 as the break point. Maybe there's some buying here. I got to gauge this a little bit more. I may cut this trade if we can't get close to 36 one more time. I may have misread that. So when you do that, you just walk away from the trade. You don't need to take the full risk. If the trade is not doing what you think it should have done around a certain price, because you would time the entry based on where the levels are, right? Then you may have misjudged the levels. So I may cut that soon if we don't get close to 36 one more time. For now, though, we're going to go to Neil at the big screen.
Time for what's happening now. Look at that. I actually matched that background there. Look, futures are up about 0.5% looking at the S&P and the Dow. We did see that pullback that the guys were talking about just a little bit, but so far so good in terms of holding up at some of these gains. And look, if we can hold the weekly gains, that'd be a fantastic reversal heading into the Santa Claus rally. The NASDAQ is lagging just a little bit here at 0.3%. So it was the leader in yesterday's action, up 1.2% in front of both the S&P and the Dow. And today, a little bit of a laggard here. Not a heck of a lot going on. I mean, I always note that BOVESPA is down, and Toronto up over 0.5%, actually leading the U.S. indexes so far here today. And one name that we did talk about on our watch list that continues to show strength, I know it's Nikola. I don't know what to say. They're above 1050 now. Look, they delivered a vehicle. That's actually the news. They delivered a vehicle. They also have a deal for 100 orders. So of their emissions-free truck, up now 12%. This stock is now broken out of its lower cluster in that $10 range. There is some resistance up here at 1050. So Nikola leading the charge here today in what so far is a pretty strong market. Let's see if we can end the rest of the day that way.
Super chat about Micron. There was a super chat about Micron. Ken. Thank you. That's one of those names I was actually looking at earlier today. I was like, I want to see how this open goes before I step into Micron. Because I'm like, there's a nice little long north of 90 on Micron. I just want to see how much selling is left today. Yeah, it looks like that was not the good idea. Or that was not a good idea, because there goes Micron from 90.5 on the low end. Here we are, 93.68. Running strong. And I know people are talking about AMD as well. AMD is going absolutely nuts as well. So Micron, AMD, taking off to the upside, so that means we got to take a quick look at the NASDAQ futures, because it looks like NASDAQ, I thought it'd be a lot stronger than this. It's only up 0.41%. S&P is still stronger, but individual names running, not so much. Let me check the rest of the board. What do we got? Apple flat, 0.2%, Microsoft, 0.57%. So yeah, it's not going to be across the board. It looks like it's mostly Micron and some individual names in the tech market that are moving to the upside heavy and fast. As I say, there's Piton. Here we go, Piton. Can we get this 36 and stay below 36, or are we going to find some more buying? If we find some more buying, I'm done. I'm going to walk away from Piton, wherever the price is. And Qualcomm resisting the urge to go to the downside, finding some buying. I'm expecting some buying to support this 181.50. Here we are long at 23. So see if we can actually get a turn finally. And I'm still looking for some more trades. I still want that Netflix long. Netflix is still like $2 away from getting me a fill, but I like the trade. I'll leave the order there, see if we can get a fill there. And then GME, looks like we're finding some more selling. So maybe GME is time for a short. Oh, damn, it moved fast too. Yeah, I thought it was still at 149, but it is now at lows. Yeah, 146 and change. We're putting in some lows right now. Okay, I'm not going to chase this. I wanted it closer to 149 so I can actually price a short. But if it's going to move like this, I'm just going to walk away from this. And there goes SOPA north of 20.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my God, good. Really glad, because we did have a lot of people that were holding SOPA overnight. So I'm really happy to hear that, that is north now of 20. Congratulations to everybody on that SOPA trade. Good one. We missed it today. That break of, 18 was a good one. We'll look at that in a minute. So AMD here. AMD, a beautiful mover today, up that 1%, has come back in against the NASDAQ right here. So we'll start it now. We were waiting at 20. We only went to 25. We still have our bid there. If it comes back into 20, and we're going to, again, like we have some highs in the pre-market of 145. So, if we fade back into that level, I think it's probably worth, as if I don't get those 20s again. And we'll see if it comes back to the downside now. But just as a target, 144.50, I believe, was where we're going to get out. So if you do see me average into that, we do have, I'd have to get out of it if it breaks through VWAP too much. So I believe it was Ms. V. What's up?
Yes, Sean, I love it. We have so many super chats today. Thank you so much, guys. And here's another one, really nice one from Jamie Hiesel. I probably should give more often, but I just wanted you guys to know I make a lot of money from this channel. Thank you all, and Merry Christmas. Thank you so much, Jamie. We are so glad you learned with us, and Merry Christmas to you too. Back to you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, Merry Christmas to all, and thank you again for the super chats. I actually think, I don't know what time the LCBO opens up, but I think Maggie's gone. So I think that she's gone there. We're going to pick up, I told her to pick up some premium. I told her where to go, get some nice premium eggnog so we can throw that down, and then come back at 2 p.m. and you'll see the rum that I'm hoping she picks up. Let's not spoil it, because we need people to come back here, and we'll be drinking rum and eggnog on our 2 p.m. show. But I drive, so we'll drink an appropriate amount so that we don't have to worry about anything like that. And then tonight, when we go home, we will partake one more time. Okay, so AMC, okay, we didn't reload. We just took another position down here. This dumped all the way down. We were trying to go long, and again, these are not. Like, really, I'm more nervous about my CCL trade than I was any of these. We didn't average
22, man. Damn.
SOPA?
Yeah, that is nuts.
That is nuts, that
Just
stock.
broke 20.
All right, let's go. Okay, so what you're saying is you don't want me to talk about AMC? Okay.
No, let's talk about it, but...
Let's go over to
I just saw
SOPA quickly
SOPA.
there. Did you have any thoughts? Because I wasn't even watching it, so...
No, I just saw it. It was just a quick comment. I was like, damn, I just looked over, it's at 20, and then looked up for the LCBO hours. Opens at 9 a.m., by the way, which is absolutely
Booyah!
nuts. And then I looked over at SOPA. I'm like, 22? Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, I didn't. So I did not pay for shorts on this name. If you're going out for a daily chart, again, we've talked about this. I don't think it's really worth looking at this, to be honest with you, because there isn't any data here. Like, this is just a few days. This thing could go to 40 again. Like, it could go up to 50. Like, I don't know where SOPA is going to go. We do know that, again, it has the introduction to the Russell 2000, and I don't even know. Maybe, Neil, if on the icon, if it tells, what date, maybe that's already done. I don't know much about that, but the minute it's announced that it was going to add to the Russell 2000, it was down here, and then now it's bumping. So I wouldn't buy this as a longer-term investment at these prices. Could be completely wrong, and I say that not knowing that much about the company, but it just seems like, that's obviously created this kind of a hype machine all the way to the upside. So if this was $4 5 days ago, is it worth 25 now or 20 now? Probably not, but that's not what we're worried about, man. We're trading momentum, and right now momentum is in the bull side on the bull camp. So congratulations, anybody long. I know there was people long at $8 there yesterday off of that super chat. So we said to get out of 25% at 16. Maybe that was done, maybe it wasn't. Here's another opportunity to cash out. Congratulations to all of y'all on that SOPA trade. I forget even what I was talking about. AMC offer at 27.50 is my next little level there. Maybe Neil has something on that Russell with SOPA.
Yeah, look, the news was from the 20th, and it is effective. I should say was effective. Society Pass added to the Russell 2000, effective on Monday on the 20th. So that's sort of come and gone already, and it looks like it's just. I mean, this on icon, this top corner here that Brendan's has fantastically laid out. This is literally the recent news that they pull, and they actually pull even social media chatter. It is all social media chatter right now. Like, this has turned into a bit of a, for lack of a better word, a meme stock. So Society Pass is the hot flavor of the day today, and it continues to run. I did pay for shorts. I tried once in and out, and I'm now looking at $27. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm in and out right here, basically flat at about $19.50, but I was looking at 27 as the next level, up 30%. It just did a bit of a reversal as we look at it here. But yeah, this has already sort of happened as far as the Russell 2000 goes.
But just monitor.
There's no further news.
Yo. Sorry, I was talking to Natalie there. We're thinking about some new ideas with Pratt and with all of us here in the chat. So someone said, is Nikola the squeeze right now? Yeah, I think so. Great news on Nikola. I guess my $9 long don't look so bad right now. But again, as a day trader, that is what that is. I hope some of you got options on that. Someone did ask us questions. Oh, okay, AMC. We're waiting at 47. Look where AMC's at right now, 45. And there, yes. I was going to say, bang on that one. We're not super happy because, we did have the long, but there's 45 cents made right back there on that for half of the trade. Hey, it still could fall all the way back down and we'll wind up losing, but at least on this trade, so far so good on an AMC battle back long. So hallelujah, that managed to work out for us. So that's a good one. AMD as well. Let's go. Sometimes, thank you to Dominic and thank you to some of you guys in the chat there. And thank you for all the super chats, by the way. Let me just run these through right now real quick. As we are on AMD, AMC, everything. Dominic, you're the man anyways. So come on, Dominic, 680 on SOPA. Get out of here. Okay, thank you so much. Lone Sophos, you're a big contributor on the chat. We love you long time as well. Thank you so much for Saspege. We talked about that before as well. That rum, that will go into the Rum and Eggnog Fund as we speak, I believe. Like I said, we are getting that as we speak. And then Jamie, big shout out to you as well. Merry Christmas to you for that 20. And then the big dog in the building, Calvin with the Hyundai spot. So thank you so much for that. And there's Austin as well. And Mr. Familaro. So what's up to Wisconsin? Dominic, man, people loving that. Maybe, Dominic, would you like to come on for guest trader of the day? There you go. So I am offering that without getting any approvals, but we don't need any. So hopefully, Dominic, if guest trader of the day, find me on Twitter, message me privately, let me know if that's something that you're interested in, because the amount that you've contributed would be absolutely fantastic. You could pick the show, man, this show or Trader Prad's or both. If you do want. Thank you, Dominic, and thank you to everybody. If we do this as a regular, we would love to have you guys come on. Anybody that's contributing in our chat. We're all about, that's what we're about, Arun, right? We're about community. We're about building this up, and we're about making some money right now. So let's go up to the upside with AMD starting to go. We're 50 cents in the money. We may just take this at this high. I always feel bad when we do this and we take out profit and we look back at the end of the day and I say, why did I get out? But right now, AMD, a nice little move to the upside.
Yep, AMD moving up to the upside, futures going to new highs, taking my Qualcomm with it now back at $1.32 in the money. We did end up getting out of Piton. Looks like Piton moved to the downside through 36. Maybe that was a little premature. What that also means now is that I got to respect this 36, because remember, we were keying off 36's potential break of resistance or break of support. If we're going to show this much buy-side volume, I might just spin this trade around and go for the buy-side move, going long off this 36. So flip the trade around, take the hit. It was a 50-cent hit on the short, but now I'm thinking of flipping it to a long. I'm going to wait a little bit more, but I am looking at potential longs on Piton now after going initially on the short side. It looks like Coin. Remember the trade that I got out of early because it wasn't looking too fresh? Yeah, it's taken off to 258. That's me getting long at 254 and change. Getting out, making 25 cents on the spread, and then now it goes north of 258. I had an order out. Initially, when I put the order out, it was at 256, but now it looks like I'm going to have to go ahead and cancel that because that is not going to happen. Neil?
In an absolute shocker, AERC broke out that 15 level and is now running through 16. It broke yesterday's high just moments ago at 1650. And this is another name just absolutely crushed recently. You don't have a lot of price action. You don't have a lot of price action on the daily chart. You go back, you say $18. I don't know. You say 21. Then maybe $26 here. But again, another depressed name, been running all week, AERC. So add this one to the list. Sopa, we had just talked about this, and another volume spike here. So it is these low float runners, man. They continue to go. They continue to strengthen the day traders, cache of opportunities.
That's where the opportunities are at, right? We go where the volume is. On a day like today, you got to go where the volume is. If you're trading momentum, obviously on a normal day you would, but this is even more critical as it is because most of the market is kind of quiet. I'm looking up at the majors, and we're not getting a whole lot of movement. None of the top tech names are north of 1%. The closest I have is AVGo. That is at 1.5% and $600. But everything else, Apple's just under a third, Microsoft is just under 1%, Amazon's relatively flat, Facebook's like a third. We're not getting a whole lot of movement. So it is these individual names that are going absolutely nuts. Obviously, now I'm noticing Coin going absolutely nuts. And then Piton, I want to flip to a long there. And then Qualcomm is still going strong. Bradley Taylor dropping the pounds here, $17.99.
It's on sale, baby.
It's on sale. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Bradley Taylor. Office 33Y. So you are part of the DTW world.
Sick, Bradley. Yeah, welcome, man. And I think we knew that. Bradley's asked us a couple questions about different keys that we're using, and welcome, man. Office, yeah. So I don't know. I don't mind if you want to put another quick super chat there. If you want to tell us exactly your location and if you're hiring or not. Maybe there's people that are if you're in London or whatever. I mean, I could find out after the show. But thank you so much, Bradley Taylor there. Another Day Trade the World office. So thank you so much for that. It does mean a lot to us, obviously. All right, so let's just continue here. There goes CCL. Thank God. Basically, we did have that stop down here at 2070, and we did talk about why we like that level here on CCL. If I can zoom back out a little bit, it was just in here, 2090, that breaking spot right there. So we did give it a little bit of room, and it held out. And so now CCL with an average price of 11 right now, starting to go back up to the upside and just taking it out. We do have VWAP there, so that's a level of concern for me, a little bit of concern for me there at 21.25. But so far so good, man. Made a lot of money back on this play alone. And then look what's happening right now. Thank you for AMC. This could be our trade of the day, talking about why, what this was, and then now waiting and picking up a bottom at 27. So there it is, man. A nice little move to the upside here for AMC, and I may just take this out. Like, that's a good move up. Like, I don't know what else to say. We were thinking about the short. It did break the main support there at 28. So let's see what it does right now. It looks like it's going to try to test back to 28, but I mean, I consider this already a test back to 28. Here it is now. 85 cents in the money now on AMC, so a good trade there. AMD 40 cents in the money and having a problem at the high side. So hey, let's see if it can take this out, man. 146.50 for the dollar winner on AMD. Here it goes. Yeah, let's go. As the future's now starting to make some moves to the upside. So let's go right now on this name. Let's see if we can continue this move to the upside with AMD, guys.
Look at the board. I'm like, I've got my Qualcomm long, which I've had all morning. I'm like, I've got my one long, and then I look over, and Sean's got like a ton of positions.
Yeah, I got ENSC as well, rocking and rolling here.
Wow, for a quiet day, which was somewhat of a quiet day, or in terms of expected to be a quiet day, that's a ton of positions.
Isn't
all
that
working out
crazy?
well, too, as the market takes off to the upside. Quick look at the futures here, 47.16. We're staying strong above this 47.15, which we were hesitating just underneath as we were on the way up initially, and now we're above it. As long as we can stay strong and find some more buying, you're going to have this previous resistance act as support. But if we were to lose this top, you maybe start, some volume might be coming in around this 47.15. At that point, I'd be worried about how things are going to play out, at least for the morning part. Maybe a little break before we get a move to the upside in the afternoon. But for now, it does look like 47.15 is going to be the area to keep an eye on as these futures enter. Remember I said, we are entering some resistance. So this is somewhat expected the way it's trading, because all the way up until 47.50, which is about 35 points away, we are going to get some resistance. Some selling is going to come in. Previously, it's been there. So north of 20, it's been there. So I'm going to look north of 20 as well for potential shorts. I'm just going to ride the one long I have left. Remember, I was talking about GME. Piton, I'm definitely going to get a long in there if I can price it right. And then GME, remember I said, depending on how we play here around this 49, I like to go for the short. There is some selling coming in, so I do have to, not selling, there is some buying coming in, so I do have to respect it as we approach 150. But at the same time, the idea hasn't changed. If we start to slow down, I'm still okay with the idea of shorting this on some sort of a strong move to the upside, as long as the sell side volume is still there.
I mean, look at Tesla, man, right up to 1020, the level that we thought about earlier, which was like our target for this trade. But it does go $4 against us if we get out. So we got clapped on that one. Darn it. I wish that we'd still be in this one, obviously. But the market is a living and breathing animal, and it's just going to do what it wants to do here. And it's making moves to the upside, which is fine by me, man. We have 70 cents in the money here on AMC. We have 70 cents in the money on AMD. We have a dime right here on CCL. This ENSC we've held out and taking some profits. I mean, I'm waiting for a 6 break. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. And then Merck right now is like putting me to sleep. Like, what are we going to do with this Merck trade down here? Not much by the looks of it. So that's Merck, and then that's it, man. We don't have anything else on board right now other than those 8 positions or whatever we just talked about. So let's go over and see what small cap maybe we're missing with small cap recap.
Absolutely. Welcome to the small cap recap. Doing it at the desk because I want to get Valerie involved. And she was trading something you guys have been watching. We'll get to that in a moment. KXIN, Caxton Auto, they were a pre-market. They had a 10,000 truck order here, and they were gapping to the upside. For me, this was a relatively simple trade. If you do look at it, right at about this 165 level, we had a gap into a push up to 180 in the pre-market. That coincided with a failure recently, actually last week, and I traded this same price level at about 165 about a week and a half ago. So when it broke 165, it was a simple entry on the breakdown and then short right into this $1.50 level. On the other end of the coin, whoops, and we'll flip one more time over ENSC. I've been short 3 times in ENSC. At the open, got stopped at 610, then shorted 6, got out at 550, got back to flat, and then got back in front of this high. I think Sean went long at the same time I was stopping out of the third trade. But SOPA is the big mover here. And Ms. V, you were trading that one this morning.
Absolutely, SOPA a crazy today. What a jump to the upside. But guys, I was on the short side today. Here I was looking for this resistance level. Stock got rejected and I got into a short trade at around 1708. Then I was looking for this strong support level and my out was at 1709. And I'm so happy that I got out right in this area because right after stock skyrocketed, has been halted. So I'm super glad I made a right decision. Back to the guys.
Right down here, 145.50.
We're talking about AMD and what Sean's going to do about it. As AMD puts in a new high, it looks like 146.28.
I was just asking Arun because yesterday, like he held that Microsoft, it was $2 or $3, and you had another
like
one, $4.
Yeah, $3 and change.
Something else yesterday as well. So I'm like, how the heck can I hold this? Because it's double topping, triple topping up here, and normally like this is where I get out, and then it just starts to run upside, and I'm like, oh man, why did we even get out there? But so I'm debating getting out right now of this trade for the dollar, and I mean, it just gave us $1 right there. We didn't take it. So yeah, and here it comes back down. I don't know. I guess yesterday we had the runner on the market, right? And so if anything, man, if that's going to keep on going up, then we want to be in the strong names, and AMD is a strong name. So that's kind of the logic that I'm going to wind up using here on this stock. And it's just be in the best names as best as you can. And if the market continues to run, then we should have something there. But there it is. Again, like now I feel bad because I was just literally, I had my order there and I pulled it. And I was like, oh man, I don't know what to do. And now it goes right back up to the upside again. So let's wait to see if the market keeps on going up. We've got a lot of winners on board, man. We have $1 now on AMC. So, hey, we let that one ride upside. What's up, Neil?
The ALLK, Alicos, which you might have seen on our upgrades and downgrades, catching a downgrade this morning, and up significantly now, up 30%. It looks like much more social media chatter on this name as well as ALLK making a monster breakout here through 10.20. It's approaching, I'll zoom my, well, I can't do that because the scaling's bad, but it's approaching yesterday's highs right in the pre-market and just broke this $11 area. But again, this is just another name which has been absolutely sort of beaten up, catching a bid and running like wildfire and getting the attention of a lot of retail traders on a light volume day. So high of day break here and significant key level break at $11 on ALLK.
Okay, so here's the question I have with ALLK, right? It falls apart after one of their studies fails to, essentially, fails to meet its endpoint. It's a drug company, right? So you get that fall off. What's the true value of a company which has no other drug? Do they have other drugs in the pipeline? That's a question that I need answered before I would step into ALLK. Regardless of what it's doing right now, if I'm going to go long, I'm going to need to put some cash up, right? So what's the true value of the company and what else they have in the pipeline? What other studies they have that are in the works at the moment before trading this? Because I think yesterday's short kind of made sense based on the top end of the news, which is like, oh no, failed statistical endpoint of a drug trial, and then a nice little bump up from 9.25 this morning up to 11.20, all the way back to the upside. Okay, $2 to $2 runner to the upside, and it's still going strong. So if you're getting, and we've seen it today on all of these other names too, with not just ENSC. What was the other one? The SOPA going absolutely nuts to the upside. When momentum starts in these names, they just go because it just makes the rounds, and then everyone just piles in. But what I want to know is the true value of a company and what else it has under its wing.
Yeah, I just wanted to review here because we've switched this thing around now. So I actually found out, I don't know, that little wick off top there, I'm going to try to stick with what I'm doing here on this name. So we've been trying to go short on AMC today off that. Well, first we were long there, and then we went long again. But we were trying to short now because as it broke that 28 level to the downside, it's the same logic on the other way around now, right? So now we're going to use this 28, which is right here that broke today, as sort of the support or the resistance, I guess, on the upside of any sort of a move. So we take it out, we take that 95 cents, whatever it was, on our last trade there, which is right, it's in here somewhere, you can't see it. But we're out now, obviously, and you can see on the board we're now short. So let's see if we can get this to get, I mean, we're not going to get anything, we're just going to let it fall. If it can fall back in here, we'll take a piece out in this area here, 70s, and then if it continues to fall back down, we'll see what it does downside. But, take some profit back back. So again, dropped it down. Like we took profit on this trade, right? Then we averaged in and got out. So, you know, we're not really, like that's a 20 bid, 28.20. Look at these outs, 40 and then out again at 50. So that's about 30 cents there. Then we averaged it down and then we got out when it broke through 28, right? So again, that's like another, so that's about a flat trade there. And then the one last trade that we had was right here. Again, a take of about 27.80 or so, and then out 27.70. So again, like we're actually doing fine on AMD or AMC, and we're actually now positive. Well, we're positive on this trade. As it comes back down, we can make this all back easily on this name, as we're very, very close to being flat on the day now on AMC, because again, these are like 30, 25, 30 cent hits, 10 cent hit. And then on the way back, this is a 27.07 bid, out 48, that's 40 cents. Then right back up again, out 99s. Like that's another $1 right there, right? So made some money back. Let's see if it falls back in. And I guess my holding out on AMD doesn't look like that was the right trade again. And I don't know what to do anymore, because trying to hold out for some winners. AMD's been an absolutely banger of a stock for me, guys. So I'm not going to sit here and complain about this, but it is falling back down. We probably should have taken those profits, and we didn't. So let's see how far it goes. There goes AMC, man, starting to crack. There's a nice little ins and now out. We'll see what it does at VWAP, another out around 60, and then we'll let this thing fall to the downside.
All right, futures coming off a little bit. I'm noticing that Qualcomm is coming off a little bit as well with the futures. So I'm going to start moving the stop up, locking some cash here. I'm up $1.34 on the futures, or not on the futures, on Qualcomm. So as we move the stop up, we'll lock in about 60, 70 cents and see if we can't, in the event that it double tops, we'll just walk away from this. I looked at the chat and people were like, well, it's a momentum stock, ALLK, so it doesn't really matter what's in the pipeline. It does. It does somewhat matter, because you need to know what you're trading. If you're buying it just because other people are buying it and the stock's going up, at what point do you say, you know what, it's time to fade? So apart from just looking at levels, you need to know what you're trading and why you're trading it, because if it's based on what other people are doing, then at some point that's going to be bad when things start turning, right? So just be on top of your game when you are, even if it's momentum trading. Just because something's running doesn't mean that you need to get involved. Be smart about how you're timing your entries as well. So I'm noticing GME stalling out around that 150. I'm still looking to potentially fade this. I'm still looking at that area as potential sell side resistance, and AMC is also falling around that 28 air mark, right? We got north of 28 on AMC, and here we are at 27.78 and change. So if we can find some more selling, I prefer to go with GME actually. If we can find some more selling around this area, I see the selling coming in. I just want to see a little bit more on GME. Then there might be a short here with the stop just north of 151, 152, somewhere around there. But there's still definitely an area to keep an eye on both of these names. 28 on AMC, and it looks like 150 on GME.
Yeah, AMC having a little bit of resistance here in the 75 area. So just noticing that, watching the level two, it's again having a little bit of problems here. So let's put, let's just put a bid here in this, let's put a bid in the 70s, I guess like 77, 78. I know that's not like a crazy trade, but we'll take it out a little bit because we are seeing some resistance there. We know AMC can get going. So let's just take out one more piece and then hold. So we'll get out of 40% right there, for 20 cents. I know it's not that big. And then we'll hold the last 60%. Maybe we do get a fade. CCL, bouncing around again. We took out a piece there, but CCL is a good trade for us. AMD back up again. I think this time we probably will do this, put an offer here at 146.50, but who knows? Could easily change our mind. What's up, Neil?
Could be an inflection point here for the market, but Apple just touched its high of the day, 176.50 here, and then sort of consolidating up at the top, or starting to at least. It is also 10:30, so it is time for us to check in with Miss V. 1 hour left until the European markets do close. Of course, last trading day for them as well before the holidays. So how are things doing across the pond?
Hey Neil, European markets are positive for this second straight session. Ryanair, trading in London, said it was more than doubling its forecast for full-year losses, citing to the emergence of travel restrictions. Despite that, stock is up still around 1%, though giving up earlier gains with the travel sector overall. Back to you.
I was just saying, I can't believe Tesla there, as we had that long and we just we gave it up, man. And like, unbelievable. We had that VWAP break. It barely breaks it. We get out, but it does bottom tick at 1,004. We might have got out of that anyways. I mean, I wasn't going to hold this $15 right back down to the bottom, but it seems like, you know, it's a $15 winner now if we still had it, but we don't. So, you know, a little bit of risk. Again, taking risk off today, I think, is the right move. I mean, I tweeted that out. We talked about that early. Let's not put on too many trades here that we have to worry about. So, I mean, Tesla, although, yeah, looking a little silly now as we rip up to the upside, I still feel like it was a decent move there to get out of that. So we'll wait to see now what does happen. But again, I took the risk off there. Probably should not have. That's a mistake by me. But that's going to happen every once in a while. Hopefully, not too often. I do want to go long on Win now. So Win does make that. Oh, as if. I didn't even notice it went all the way down here. I'm bidding 87.11. It went to 87.20. Oh, my God. What am I even doing? I like that bid. So let's put some more bids on here. I didn't even realize it went down there. I was just looking at this area. That's 87.20. So we'll put some lower bids. If we can get filled down here, darn, that's crazy. We talked, 87.11. So sometimes you do miss some of these fills, and it is a little bit upsetting. But here it comes back down. You can see how violent this is. Like, we almost got in at an 88 break there, but now you're seeing the market get faded in, so get a good opportunity to buy some Win. Let's pick some up now at 88 flat here, and then watch to see what happens if we do get tested back down near 87. So I think this is a good opportunity. Pick up some Win. That's what I'm going to do right now at these low 88s.
Right, and I'm looking over going, really though, Piton? We were looking to spin this trade around after we got out of that short. I was trying to get some mid-50s. Couldn't get it, and now Piton sitting at 37.31. So Piton would have been a nice little spin around on that trade. Futures coming back a little bit here. If we take out 4,700, I think I would be comfortable calling this upside run, kind of not from the last days, but just from today. If we crack 4,700 even, that's another 15 points. I'd be a little concerned because 47.15 then holds as resistance. We know that's sitting just underneath major resistance all the way up to 47.50. And then we just broke the trend, essentially, would have been over at 4,700 going. So I keep an eye on how we are going to play as we get lower and lower towards that 4,700. But 4,700, I think, is the key critical area to keep an eye on. I'm still watching AMC. I'm still watching GME, trying to find my next trade. Nothing else has popped off on my radar apart from just these two. Again, I'm going to focus on GME. We're going to do something. I just don't know what it is. Is it going to be a long north of 150 into the 151s if we find that support, or are we going to go for the short here south of 149 if we end up losing any sort of volume that is buying this market up or buying this stock up from 146 low? So here we are sitting at 149 and change. If we can go for the short, I'd like to go for the short. If this market were to take off, yeah, I'd be open to the idea of a long, but I feel like the issue with the long is that the risk is going to be so high for that long. So I'd have to put it at least to the day low, which is 146. So you're looking at least about $5 in risk for this long here. So I'm gauging what to do, but I think preferably the short side on GME would be better just because the risk is smaller for me to be able to actually take it.
I'm just piecing out, piecing out this CCL. Like, I don't know why it's not really running. Maybe today's not a CCL day, so we are very, very close. I mean, we still have 25% of our trade on this name, and it's going to be, I mean, we're up on the stock, but it's minimal because when you average, I took the same amount of shares here and here, which gave us an average price of 11. So, you know, or 8, I think it was. So right now that we're battling this, it's like whatever. These are the only profitable outs up here, really. 21.20, and then some of these in the 15 spot. But right now, it's going to show us a nice average price. But realistically, we still have a little bit of work to do here on this name. So let's see where it goes. But CCL, you know, we're going to get out if it takes out the bottom. But right now, I'm not worried about that level. It's just that's the plan of action there, and we want to talk about it. We did get into Win, of course. We talked about that. We bought 10s, I guess, or 8s or 9s. What am I long at? 9s. So we'll see. We'll see if it goes. I still want to take it out. I don't want to take it out. I want to go longer if we break above here. So let's put an offer. Oh, there it is. So we just got another bid. Okay, I didn't even know I had 2 bids down there. So I want to get another offer out in the 40s if we can on Win, because we do want to punch the long through 50. So if it does battle back up here again and doesn't take it out, we'll feel bad not taking some profits. So, hey, that's our plan on Win. But we are still sitting down here 87 and change to try to see about that trade. So Win right now falling back down a little bit. We did take an extra fill there we didn't mean to have, but it's not a big one. We're still waiting for these bottoms here. 87.40, 87.50 coming through on Win.
Yep. Every time I look over at Sean Stocking, I look at his board, I was like, wow. the amount of longs and the short as well. You picked up the short on AMC, eh? Okay.
Yeah. AMC's actually, we talked about that a little bit. It's
Yeah,
actually,
around this price point.
it's cruising around. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I was waiting for a little bit more. It definitely looks like it's hesitating at that 28 level. So yeah, I was looking at your board. I was like, wow, that's quite a bit of positions here. And here we are moving strong on Piton. Damn it, Piton's just up on the board. That's the one that I actually want. I'm still looking for some more. So if you guys put it up, Dominic, I saw your XXII, which I will talk about once we come back from Neil.
And an interesting coincidence, it's 22nd Century Group that I did want to mention here. The FDA authorizing marketing of tobacco products that help reduce exposure to and consumption of nicotine for smokers who use them. Now, this relates to 22nd Century, the biopharma group here. The FDA saying that they are required to label their packages with one of 4 warning statements for cigarettes as required by federal Cigarette Labeling Advertising Act. So it looks like this is going to be a bit of a catalyst. It's actually nice to be able to talk about something that has a catalyst here with 22nd Century up 21%. It did just make a bit of a push to about 260. If you look in early pre-market trade, this wick up here in the daily to 3 minutes, or on this chart here to $3, that was on very, very light volume in the pre-market, or lighter volume in the pre-market, and then one spike up at the top in dark pools. But it's coming right back to these levels at about 260 to 270, which is resistance on the daily. So watching out for 22nd Century, this actually has a news catalyst behind it here. So a little something behind this mover. Good to say for once, because these low floaters moving on air.
Yeah, that's the kind of market you're dealing with today. And I was going to talk about it, but Neil's got it handled, so I'm going to move on to the next one. Roblox. Wow, I was looking at this too. This was put in the chat. It's down 3%, had taken out that 100 level. I was looking at this in terms of what I could do around this 100. I was like, you know what, maybe I can go for the short. Then I realized that on the daily, you got some support here coming back down into that 98 and whatnot, and 98, and then you got this mess that's down around 95. But around that 98, there's some support. I was like, well, if I take the 100, where am I going to put the stop? Can I take a short with a maybe less than a $2 stop to make sense of the risk on this trade? I would have to go at least north of 102 into the 102.50s, and I'm not too comfortable with that level anyway. So I'm going to kind of go hands off until we get into that 95 area. 97, I think, we could start looking at for potential longs if we were to kind of slow down there with a 95 stop, or if 95 breaks, we can take the short. But for now, I'm just kind of, I saw that, I was like, so I'm still looking for more names. GME is one of those names. I'm still waiting. GME refuses to go below this 149, which is kind of a good thing, because the longer they spend, that's the Roblox chart, the longer time they spend here, it just means more volume is building up. So when eventually it does set up, I can be more confident with the trade that I'm going to take. Potentially, though, GME on the short side. I know Sean's already got his AMC.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep, and AMD, and that's what we're going to talk about right now as the diamond hands are about to go away, because honestly, like, this is too many tops up here, and I know I'm trying to be like a hero, trying to make that big trade for you guys, but honestly, like, it's topped out. I mean, a big trade for me, I mean, $1, honestly, for me is fine, and I don't know why we're complaining about it. So we are long at 145.44 right now, so it's a great trade for us on AMD, but I am going to get out here as we double top, triple top, quad top, all that nice stuff up here. So we'll see if we can get out at 35, which is basically the high of the day. The high of the day is 38. So if we can just get that right now, I mean, I might just take this right here. Why are we even messing with this stock at these levels? But one little bump up, we'll take out the high of the day. And if we can run it from here back up to the high of the day, I'm going to consider that a win, which we're at right now. So I think we'll just take this out. We've held this out for long enough, and I'm just going to take the dollar, 5 more cents, and we're out. So just got to hit 135 or 35, and then we're out. I don't even know why we picked 35, but there it is. Oh, resisting. So let's just put the offer out, man, and get out of this one, because I'll be pissed if we don't get it. So upside 146.25 right now.
Yeah, James, I saw you. You were talking about MasterCard being at the level that I was talking about earlier. I had an order out. I tried to get that filled. And the entry I was trying to get on MasterCard was around this 356.5. I put the order out, I left it there for a while, and it just kind of creeped ever so slightly higher, now sitting just south of 360. So that trade's gone. I never got a fill. There was only a quick flash. I think right off the open, we had a quick flash south of that level, that 356.50. I didn't have the order in at that time because I wanted to see where we opened. And then obviously you see this. We never got down below that. I think the low was like 356.77 or something like that. And then here we are going strong. So MasterCard's trade is gone. In terms of the daily, what can we do with it? Not a whole lot. I mean, you could argue for the 360 break, but then you're kind of limited by the upside, maybe $1 or $2 to the upside. Risk on a trade like this would be too expensive. So I'm going to kind of back off MasterCard. We'll save it for another day. This level's got to come in play at some point during the next week or so, I would imagine, if we were to come down. So we'll leave it for another day, and maybe we can get it set up. In the meantime, we're going to go to Neil at the big screen.
Thank you, Arun. We got Sector Watch here today, and we are green on the session, and we do have some a strong-looking board overall. But really, you're going to go to capital goods here, and the industrials are just leading the way. You got Caterpillar up 2%, Honeywell up there about 1.8%. Some might be interested. I got 3M looking at 1.2. But if you go to the chip space, you're going to see Micron, which led things off early in the week with their earnings, once again leading the way up 3%. Xilinx up 2.3, which is interesting because they've been moving opposingly to AMD, and both those names up on the session. AMAT looking pretty good here, up 2.4 in Lam. So those suppliers for the chips looking pretty good as well. In transportation, we are holding pretty strong. FedEx leading the way, up 1.9% there. It's been interesting for some of the travel names because you do have a pullback happening right now in the airlines. You have a pullback happening in the cruise ships. So Carnival and Royal Caribbean both to the downside, but those casino names with the Macau exposure, like we talked about, are holding their gains to the upside, although they have pulled back just a little bit. Nothing has changed when it comes to the pharmaceuticals. It's third day in a row. The biggest red on the board is going to be Moderna to the downside. So Moderna continues to be under pressure, this time followed by Pfizer and Merck. Keep in mind, we've had 3 headlines in a row. 2 days ago, it was that both of those pills would, for Merck and for Pfizer, would get approval by the end of the year. Pfizer's got it yesterday, Merck got it today, and I guess it's a bit of a sell the news type of event. However, we're holding to the upside for now. You got to pick and you choose. Some of your boring names, I shouldn't say boring, but your cyclical names are doing really well today with the industrials, even the financial sector doing pretty well as well, guys. So you have to navigate these markets and pick and choose your winners and losers.
A stock that's not doing too well today. It was in the chat, and Neil, you talked about off the top, Crocs getting absolutely destroyed here, down 15%. What's happening, Shecky asks? Well, Crocs is buying footwear maker Hey Dude for 2.5 billion shares. So anytime you get a purchase or some sort of purchase like that from the company that's acquiring, you get a drop in the company because, hey, it's an expenditure, right? So here we are coming off here, 15%, down at 118. But interestingly enough, though, we are sitting at some interesting levels south of 120. So here we are in this kind of somewhat of a buy zone from late July, mid-July or so. If we can get a nice little bounce here, I'm thinking if we can get above 120 without breaking 116, I think the low right now is, what is the low? Why can't I get the low? The low, 115.85. So we broke it, but I mean, like, that's not a whole lot. That's probably just a flash with some stops. If we can actually get below 116 and trade below 116, I kind of give up on this idea. But if we get above 120, I want to see if we can actually get a rebound trade just north of 120, put a $4 risk and see if we can actually get a move towards 125. I think that's worth a shot at these price points. But again, it has to happen in a certain way. 120 has to break without the low being taken out first. So here we are sitting $2.50 in either direction. Actually, I guess $1.50 from the low. But here we are sitting just above the low and just below the entry point. So waiting for either move, I'm cool with, but let's just wait and see. Maybe Crocs is going to provide a trade north side just above 120.
Yeah, just to talk about some of these positions, I can't believe Tesla's at 1035, whatever it's at. That's great, guys. Like, wow. And we had that long and dumped it. Like, that's crazy. All right, so I have Win up. That's a good trade right there. So we'll do a little bit of backflips for Win. We defended that 88 there, and we talked about where we're going to get out, right at that top again. And there it goes. It rips right back up to the top, and we get out at 42. I think it was there on Win. Yeah, so nice little move upside there. Good trade. I still want to go long, though, if we break back above that. We did get out of our AMD, and now, of course, it's ripping to new highs, but we got out at 35 there, so we're pretty happy on that AMD trade. We talked about that again. So whatever, now it's going, and I can never seem to hold these things long enough, but there it goes one more time. Whatever, that's what I need to do better on, trying to hold. But we only had one in there, and we were just happy. Too many double tops, and, you know, we just talked about making sure that we make specific trades and the right ones. So I felt like that was a good decision there. Who knows? And then this KTTA, you might be saying, why am I still holding this? Yeah, I don't know. It's just, the out's going to be 190. We talked about that earlier. It just hasn't hit. So that's nothing. We're already out. We're still holding 20%, but 20, 40, 60, 80. KTTA was a great trade for me today. It just happened early, and that's just, nothing's been happening since. So if it cuts back into these 220-ish area, probably a good out for that one. And then ENSC, we've actually, I mean, I don't know. There's just not much to talk about. We took it out when it broke through VWAP here, and now it's just battling. We still think that the $5 is a pretty strong level. Probably worth averaging in if the day goes on here and not much happens. You know, you could get a late day pop in ENSC. You've seen what happened yesterday here late when we started to build up some of these bottoms. Like this didn't happen until 2 o'clock, where at 2:30 we started to bump up. We were $3 and we went to 6. So let's see. Let's just hold out hope here that maybe we build a base and then it starts to get exciting and we get back above $6 on ENSC. So that's the idea right there. AMD, you know, we were long, or sorry, AMC, sorry. We were long and then got out and we went long again. And then we just shorted there, took some profit, tried one more time, got out at 25. So AMC is going to be a red day for us, but it's a lot better than it was, you know, when we were here. Although it wasn't that bad, but AMC a red stock for me today. And yeah, I mean, I feel like this has been a pretty good day. We have a lot of trades. I only have 67 trades, but still some decent positions on as we hold out hope for Carnival and then some of those other ones. And then Merck has been the most disappointing for me. The reason why is that we took that trade. Like if we just waited again to defend the 75, like we said, then we would sort of be laughing right now. But we do have an average price out 30 cents. So we'll have to wait for this. Really not doing anything. Hopefully something else comes in the middle of the day and we're able to take this out on the upside. So kind of like as expected today, Arun, I feel like a lot of names moving, but some of the ones that, you know, were normally flying around kind of just up and down, a little bit of hover action right now.
It's the individual names that are moving. The ones that have either, and this was somewhat expected too, the ones that have either isolated news or in this case, the drug space is also moving as well. But when you look at the majors, you look at the Tesla, not the Teslas, the Apples, the Microsofts, they're somewhat flat. They're all, I want to say the top 3 names in terms of weighting in these indexes, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, all under 0.5%. Well, Microsoft's just at 0.5%, but everything else relatively flat. So here we are waiting for some sort of movement. GME just broke 151. Now, remember, I was talking about potential longs or shorts around that 150. We finally got above 150 on GME. And as I say that, Crocs just broke 120. So we're waiting for both of these to kind of settle in a little bit. I could go long on Crocs. I could go long on GME. Both of them, I just need them to settle in just a little bit before I get involved. But I am looking for potential longs on both of them.
Yeah, Nikola, just continuing, man. Nikola is just a monster today, like up to 11, like still going. NKLA, wow, man, up 21% today. Those of you in that name, congratulations. I mean, it says a lot. A long way to go probably until a lot of people make money on this. But we talked about the $9 bottom, and then it was just like one move away, right, from taking off, and that's why I liked the $9 bottom. I hope some of you did as well. There on Nikola, just checking back on the name that I like better, Fisker for the longer term, but they're not moving that much as well. But nice little move off 16 here for Fisker. And then another high flyer would be SoFi that I like down near 14. And that's, what was the bottom today? 1470? Okay, that's not bad there for SoFi. Another good name here. You'll be able to see once the chart loads that we do have a nice bottom at 14 on SoFi. So anyways, I don't know if it's going to load, but there it is right there, 14, 1380, things like that. But thank you again for all the super chats today. It's been a fantastic day. It's Rum and Eggnog Day. That's going to be happening later. So I believe things have been acquired. So we'll wait to see here. We're going to be taking that at the 2 p.m. show. Rum and Eggnog, guys, over to the big screen with Neil.
That is the second time today Sean has thrown to me at the big screen and mentioned the rum and eggnog. So the mouth starts watering when he says that every single time. But guys, it's a pretty flat day, just like yesterday. Dollar index essentially flat. The euro slightly to the downside. You will notice once again the British pound up 0.5%. Maybe a good sign because some strength for them, and they've been leading in terms of the bad reaction or the outbreak for Omicron, and they're a bit ahead of us. So hopefully a decent sign that they're starting to show some recovery. At least their currency is picking things up. Come back down into crypto, and look, we're still below that 4,000 mark on Ethereum. But I wanted to mention Bitcoin here. Actually has broken out from this 46,000 level and now retesting 48, 49 in front of 50,000. An interesting thing has been happening with Bitcoin, which had been tracking over the last couple of years with the NASDAQ and correlating with it. But recently, it started to lead moves in the NASDAQ. And if that consolidation break is going to hold up, maybe it's a good sign for things to come in the new year. So relatively quiet in the currency front overall, but there are some encouraging signs out there. You got to have those movers. Nikola, it continues to impress me, Sean, as well. As a matter of fact, before we came on, Rob and I were talking about Nikola, and hey, they delivered a vehicle. What can we say?
And that's what it's all about. I mean, there's so many of these companies right now. I mean, that's why Lucid started running with the Lucid Air, the Dream, and getting the car of the year, and then the Rivian as well. We can check out Rivian. We haven't even looked at Rivian. The R1T truck of the year as well. So, yeah, this is still at 95. We love the short now at 100 on this name, Rivian. It's bounced off there a couple times. They're right there at 100. So, yeah, that's going to be a good short. We'll see what Rivian does in the new year. It came with tons of fanfare. We were calling it Rivian Week and everything like that when they were coming through. So Ford and Amazon still have their investments here in Rivian. So back to 100, that could be a very interesting break. I don't think it happens today, but when Rivian does break on news or on anything like that, I think that's a hero long. Like, you could make a lot of money on that Rivian break. So watch out for that. That could be something really special at $100.
Dominic asking, poll for the day. Will Trader Prad actually trade today? I'm just going to put in my vote right now. I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes. It's a trading show. He is going to trade today. Trader Prad will trade today.
Of all days, today,
he has to. The trading show. Market Movers. He's going to trade it. He's going to trade today. I mean, again, you need to have the opportunities that are there, right? So, yeah, but whatever. Watch the show and you'll find out. We'll see if Trader Pratt does trade today. That win. Okay, so SOPA right now. So win's a good one. We'll see. SOPA, though, needs to come through for us again. SOPA makes that beautiful move up to $22 there today, $22.50, and fades right back in. So I do like that play, but we'll see what happens here. 19 or so breaking could be something there on SOPA. It's resisted that level there, came back up, tested 19. So that's going to be a key level. If you get SOPA running, that could be something right there. $19, not a horrible spot for SOPA. Yeah, that's about it, man. We can take a quick look at some crypto, as we haven't done that too much today. We'll refresh this old portfolio here and have a quick look. Really nice to see Cardano back to 138. You know, we were buying, the last time we bought at 125, and that's about it. We were buying some 160s when it was higher, but, you know, a lot of these names have fallen back down. Let me check out Matic. Where's Matic? Polygon. Here it is. Okay, up 254. So this is a name that I was buying on the dips the most, and that's doing nice, up 20%. Avalanche, something I need to do some research on. That's been doing nicely as well. And then Ripple, we've had forever. So that one, XRP, up nicely as well, back to 98 cents. So the crypto space is a good one. We will have next week on the 28th, barring anything messing around, we do have Kevin O'Leary coming on, and I'm pretty sure that his pick of the year is going to be Coinbase. And I know you were looking at Coinbase. Were you?
I got out. Yeah, I just cashed out.
Right. Okay. So Coinbase was being traded on the show today. I do like that name as well. Coinbase had some nice lows.
Yeah, nice little bounce to it. Now I'm starting to regret that exit. But yeah, we had that long. We got filled on a cross down just in front of 181. We got like 23 or something like that. And then we had it all the way up to 183, but it bounced twice off of 183. I moved the stop up. As soon as it took out 182, I got out. And you see this red candle there. So I still walked away with like 70 something cents. But now it is looking like it wants to maybe take a look at that 183 again. So Coinbase, what am I doing? This is Qualcomm. Coinbase I got out of, I'm talking about the wrong chart, oh my God. Coinbase is the big one that I gave up on. Okay, here, that's my fill on the cross down, and then I got out because I'm like, oh, there's selling coming in. Turns out that selling got overcome, and here we are at 259. That long was down at like 254 and change, so yeah. For whatever reason, I thought I still had Coinbase. I did not. It was Qualcomm that I had. Coinbase, I dumped way too early, and here we are walking away. But I still have GME long. I picked up that long just north of 151. And Crocs, I might be in trouble with Crocs. Okay, I got long just north of 120. As soon as I got long, there's a nice little sell wave coming in, and I'm just like, oh man, did I price this a little too aggressively? And maybe I should have waited. My concern with waiting on something like this is that because of the location we're at, if we're going to move hard, we're going to move fast, we're going to move hard and fast, right? So it's just one of those situations. I get it now and get the run, or I may not get the price that I want on Crocs. So I took the shot. It may not just work out the way I wanted, but for now we are carrying GME and Crocs on the long side. We just dumped Qualcomm. Coinbase I had, but earlier we dumped that way too early. And we're going to go to Valeria.
Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. A lot of stocks are moving and I hope you get those opportunities. Thank you very much for all the super chats, for all the nice comments, and of course likes. Guys, we need just 300 more likes to get to 2,000. So please make sure you like this video and help us to get there. Merry Christmas everyone, happy holidays. Please join Prad and me to keep trading the last day of this week, and happy National Pfeffernuss Day. German spice cookie.
Cinnamon spice cookie?
German
spice cookie.
I like it. I think there is cinnamon in there.
I've never had it.
I think it's like a gingerbread,
like
is what I'm going to say there. But I have had those before. Nice to dip in coffee if I do recall. But yeah, good day today. Tomorrow, obviously, Christmas Eve, and the markets will be closed. So thank you for joining us today. Yeah, that is my favorite cookie. Yeah, a lot of people like that there. Piton Kills Me did get the long. Okay, so people talking about Piton. AMD on a ripper. Yeah, I mean, AMD is just ripping right now.
Nice.
We did have that trade, and like I said, you know, we took the profits here on what is a quiet day, or what was a quiet day. But we did also say that, and this was back on whatever the first day was this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that, that Santa Claus rallies in the building, and now it's 3%. So 3% here in the last 3 days in this market. So it's been a big one, a big rally through. Only a minute left before you go over where Prad will be trading on Market Movers. And so yeah, so let's go. It's going to be a fun little close, I hope, for today. We're going to have a lot of fun when we come back at 2 p.m. Rob, everyone's here. We're all excited. We're all going to be drinking that rum and eggnog, so that should be a fun one as well. But yeah, for right now, just keep watching some of these names that are moving, man. I mean, Nikola, we talked about that at $9, and today, again, ooh, okay, maybe it's turning now. This could be the top. Nikola at some point has to come back down, man. Shouldn't be up 20%. We'll see what that wants to do in the EV space. That Build Back Better plan took away a lot of the credits and the rebates and stuff like that for the EV names. So I know they're going to work on that. I know it's not done, but we'll see if that can come through. But Nikola right now looking like it wants to turn. I can't blame anybody that goes short now off of like an 1150 out. So I think you can go short now with 30 cents worth of risk to play it back down here. At least your 30 cents is right down here, 1090, right? So I think you can get there pretty easily, and then we see what happens with VWAP. So I think Nicola's at a good risk reward spot right here. So any last thoughts here, Arun, as we only have a couple more seconds?
Yeah, absolutely. Best of luck, guys. Be smart about what you're trading as the volume is starting to die down a little bit. Remember, tomorrow is a holiday. It used to be a half day, but because of the way things are falling out, or things are landing, because it lands on a Friday, it is going to be a full-out closed market for tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't believe AMC is back to where it is. For all of us here, guys, the Trader TV Live team, Mr. Roberts on the desk. And that's it. He's done. He's done the desk now. So he's gone. Have a great holiday.
The afternoon.
No, I know. But I mean, just saying for people that don't, for people that don't watch the afternoon show or can't or whatever, you know, I got this, Arun. Don't worry. I know we're coming back, or else I'd be going home right now after this. So join us back at 2 p.m. where you will see Neil. Is this even better for you, Arun? Where you will see Neil for the last time at the desk, because next week he gone on vacation, and then it's you and I again. And Where's my thing for Brendan here? There it is, right here. This man is be back in the building with information flying out of his you-know-what there. So thank you for watching, guys. It's been a fun one. Let's throw it over right now to Miss V and Trader Pratt. It's the Market Mover Show.
Jingle, 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 jingle. It is the Christmas tree. Welcome to Market Movers. Beautiful, Miss V.
Hey guys, welcome back everyone. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you all. Please, as usual, be active on the chat, ask us anything, and please give us a Christmas like. This is the last trading day of this week before the Christmas, and we're super happy